Let's do normal things first. Twitter and Discord. And I'm just realizing I forgot to update my widget when I posted in Discord earlier. But I can't remember everything. Okay, there's the tweet. And where are you, Discord? What tab are you in? Alright. Discord. And then let's get these windows in some semblance of order. Some semblance, because they were in video game position. So let's just make sure we can see everything that needs to be seen. And oh, also before I forget, because he's a very good boy, and he came right running upstairs with me when I told him it was time to stream, because he's such a good boy. And you know what good boys get? Yummy little tiny kitty treats. Yeah, it's for Bean. There's your treat. Right there, man. Yeah, good boy. You just settle down here. I think that he, with the eye ointment stuff, makes his eyesight a little bit bleary. Because I always try to give him a treat when we're done, and it's like he is doing a little bit more sniffing around than usual. So let me just check a couple more things. Oh, I should have maybe closed this before I got started. Well, I guess it's okay. Sunburnt, hello. Thank you for joining me. I am just making sure that I have everything that I need ready to go. I mean, it's not super complicated. It's just like just different enough from what I normally do that I'm fairly sure there will be at least one weird thing that will happen. But that's okay. Okay, let's close Gmail so it's not pinging me the whole time that I'm streaming. And I hope that the sound should be okay. I actually don't have my filter on because I don't have the air conditioner on, which is usually the loudest thing, but I do have a couple fans on. So if it gets to be like too much background noisy, just let me know and I will, it only takes a second to set up if we decide that it is in fact necessary. So yeah, you're a good boy, Benny. He's looking at me like he thinks he's gonna get another treat. No, you've had all your treats for today, buddy. There. He's like so wide and spread out right now. It's hard to get them all on camera. Sounds okay for you. Good. Thank you, Sunburnt. All right. Well, if you have any questions as I go along, feel free to ask them. To anybody in the future on YouTube, feel free to ask questions down in the comments. I'll try to get back to you. I don't know where this is going to live on YouTube. Might go on my regular channel, but kind of feel like it maybe belongs on my vlog channel, which honestly, I could not tell you the last time I uploaded to my vlog channel. It's like a couple years ago, definitely. And probably more than a couple, more like a few, like 4, which is a damn shame. Okay, let's put this on top over here, and we're eventually going to need that, but not right now. Okay, so I think if I click here, yay, you guys can see my mouse, so I can point at things. Not like when I'm normally pointing at things and remember that you can't actually see me pointing at the screen. So, oh, I remember what else I almost forgot to look up. So I actually went to the fair twice. I love the fair. I go at least once every year. And I wanted to look up the attendance numbers for this year because both days felt really, really freaking crowded. And I've been there on some record-setting days in the past. So we went on Monday, wait. Oh, I see. Okay, I see. At first I was like, wait a minute, what the heck? This actually makes it really easy to compare because we almost always, the first trip is on a Monday. It's kind of a leftover tradition from before my dad retired. He was a barber, so Monday was his day off. Nowadays, Monday also happens to be senior day, which my parents can both take advantage of. So when I went on Monday, it was me, my mom, my aunt, and my cousin. And there were 124,438 people at the fair. And I mean, that's a crap load of people. But it actually is not as many as last year on Monday. And I do remember it being really, really crowded last year. Last year on that same day, they had 144,000 people. And for reference, seeing all these are like, there's like a code of like, what is a record or not. So Thursday, when I went for the second time, there were 156,764 people at the fair, which is another like record-setting day. Wow, I'm just looking on here. This past Saturday, 270,000 people at the fair. I can't even imagine how they packed that many more people in there. And of course, it's not all like at the same time. Obviously, people are coming and going all day long, but that's a lot of people. I mean, the last Saturday, I'm not surprised, is one of the more popular days. Even when the weather's bad. Even when the weather is bad, people tend to go to the fair. And when we went on Monday, we did actually get rained on. We were prepared. I know, Sunburn. I mean, that's bigger than a lot of like medium to small sized cities. And it's just a little, I don't know, I guess I would maybe say like a square mile or two. I mean, it's a pretty big fairgrounds, and there definitely are places that are like more congested than others. Like, compare the area around the Midway to the area around the animal barns to the area around what they used to call Machinery Hill, where they show off like big farm equipment and that type of stuff. There definitely are, or like the food building. I mean, that's always crowded because food. Not to say that there's just like one food building. There's food all over the whole fair, but the food building is like a central area for it. And they don't have a count yet for today. Today is actually the last day of the fair. But it looks like if it stays on course like it is, it could very well be an all-time like cumulative record over all of the days. So that's always kind of cool. It does always seem like more people go to the fair every year. Parking can be, sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's tricky. There's parking available on the grounds that fills up really quickly most of the time. There's also a bunch of free parking rides and farther out like some paid parking rides. And when I went on Thursday, the first like 4 free lots that I went to were full. And I was like starting to get worried. I was like, I'm not going to be able to even find anywhere to park. I'm going to have to go home in tears because I can't find a parking spot. But finally, I found a lot that still had some spaces, and then you just like hop on a bus, like not even a 5-minute bus ride, and then you're let off right at the fair. Your first time seeing a state fair? Well, I hope. I was looking at it, I was like, I don't know if the pictures really like convey the whole experience of it, but hopefully you get at least a little taste. And I do have some videos. I'll probably show those at the end, just because they're kind of separate from the pictures. Well, they're sorted separate from the pictures, and I realized as I was setting up stream that the viewer that I'm using for the pictures won't show the videos, and then OBS did not want to capture Movie Maker for whatever reason, so I've got like a workaround solution. But I think I'm gonna get going, and I'm sure there are maybe some more people. I was debating, like, do I want to go earlier, do I want to go later, and I kind of decided that I wanted to go earlier. So I'm glad that you're here to keep me company, Sunburned, and hopefully we'll get a couple more people come hang out as we go along. But I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to ramble on and try and include some little stories where I remember them also, because not everything can be captured in pictures, or some things would be pretty rude to capture in pictures, like when they're involving other people. So this is just, I don't even remember which trip I took this on. I just thought it was a good one to start things off. There is actually a water tower right on the grounds that has like the logo painted up on it. So that's the Minnesota State Fair logo. And we do have one of the largest fairs in the country. I don't know if it's still the largest, but I mean, it's a huge fair. So maybe 5 or so years ago, they redid kind of the northern end of the fair, and they added, there used to be at different places where the park and ride buses would drop off. They redid this end and made it a whole like transit hub, flows much better. In the old one, I remember at one point being stuck on the bus for like 45 minutes, like within sight of the fair, and couldn't get off the bus because the traffic jam was so bad. And then once you give them your ticket and go in the gates, you're met with this gorgeous flower bed. And this year, it seemed like it was even just nicer than normal. Just really colorful, really beautiful. And I will also say up front, the fair can be expensive. It doesn't have to be expensive. There's so much you can do there for free. The most expensive part is probably going to be food and souvenirs, and both of those are optional. If you don't want to spend a bunch of money on fair food, you can even bring in your own food. On the last night that I was there, it was kind of funny because I was sitting watching the glass blowing, and I noticed this kid in front of me is eating like legit like a ham sandwich on white bread, just like, you know, school lunchbox looking type of sandwich in the middle of State Fair, which strikes me as weird. But on the other hand, why not? If you just want to come, there's so much free stuff to look at. There's so many people to just look at. And even in the food, there's stuff that's definitely more of, I don't know if I want to say a ripoff, but there's definitely stuff that's more on the expensive side and stuff that's more affordable. So we got flowers here. This is another angle of the same garden, and I really love like these purpley, frondy, decorative grasses. That's one of my favorite kind. Moon Bandit. Hi. I'm rambling along. We are just getting started here. You are just in time. You want to see the 2 pictures you missed, Moon Bandit? You missed the opening water tower, and you missed the first shot of the flowers. So the rest has all just been me rambling. And yeah, we're about to start getting to the food pictures and all that. I love the flowers too. I could have been I was trying to take a good amount of pictures because I knew I planned on doing this. But at the same time, it's one of the situations where, like, over the past couple years, I've been trying to be mindful of when I'm rushing through an experience because I'm rushing to take the next picture instead of experiencing the experience and like enjoying it. Like when I went to Art and Bloom at the Art Institute, one year I was determined to take a picture of every single entry and every single piece of art that it went with. And I mean, it's only open so late, and toward the end, just like rushing around from one to the other and not even appreciating it. So I tried to strike a balance. Yeah. Oh, that's cool, sunburnt. We have some decorative grass in the back, but it's not this kind. It's it's very pretty too, especially in the fall. It turns like a lot of sunset colors, but this purpley stuff I just find really cool. And there's little gardens all over the whole fairgrounds, and some of them are just like wildflowers, and some of them are more curated. We'll see. I've got a couple in here. I did like go through these pictures just quickly before I started streaming. I was like, well, let me make sure it's nothing like, I don't want to say like exposing or anything, but you know, I didn't really want to have stuff where it was like showing like a really bad side of somebody. Like I met up with my brother at the fair accidentally, and he shows me this picture on his phone. Of course, I'm telling you guys about it, even if I'm not showing you. And it was somebody in one of those little motorized carts, but you know, like the back of the seat didn't come all the way down, so there's a big gap, and the whole gap is like butt crack. He's like, that was my highlight of the fair, ha! And he's such a goofball. I mean, he's my older brother, so he's old too, but that's still the type of shit that he finds funny. And there was a lot of that, but I didn't want to like be putting these strangers on blast on Twitch, and like, you know, it's unavoidable to have some people in the background, but I didn't want to have pictures where it was like, it seemed like they were focusing on these people that I don't even know. I know, Moonband, and I was like, what if somehow, you know, this got back to whoever this random person was. I mean, and I wouldn't want it to be done to me either. You know, like I said, there's a difference between background people and haha, let's make fun of this person type of a thing, which I mean, I'm not above that, but I'm not going to do that on the internet, because that, I just find that and that sounds dumb even as I'm saying it. Why is it okay for me to like joke around like that in real life but not on the internet? I don't know. I want to, maybe it's kind of because I want to put positivity out there on the internet. There's enough negativity and dumb crap on the internet. What I put out on the internet that's going to be out there in some form or another for who knows how long to who knows how many people, I want to be positive. Oh, the one thing you did miss, Moon, I was talking about the attendance numbers. I went twice. On the Monday I went, there were 124,000 people. And on the Thursday I went, there were 156,000 people. Sparkly, hello. So we're talking about medium-sized cities worth of people on these fairgrounds. And I was just looking, and this past Saturday was 270,000 people. You're Moon Bandit. And Sparkly, I've now spent several minutes catching Moon up on the 2 pictures that she missed. So I'll just give you a quick look too. The water tower, the first shot of the flowers, and now we were just on the shot of the flowers. We're getting to the good stuff. Okay, 30K. I thought you were saying like it's not even 1,000 people. Like, I live in, I don't know, what's a small town? Small Townsville, population 84. Okay, so like I said, we're about to get to the good stuff, you guys. The food. There's other good stuff too other than the food. There's art stuff. There's different kinds of food stuff, like competition food stuff. Oh, I could also, where is that? I'll have to think if I can remember where I stuck that. I bought myself a new nail file at the fair just so I could have another spare to have around, and I think I'll probably keep it like downstairs because I'm always like downstairs and want a nail file and have to come like all the way back upstairs where my nice nail files are. And I'm probably going to be drinking a lot of water because I feel like I'm somehow talking even more than I do when I'm doing nail art stuff. Beanie's hanging out. He's chilling. He's a little bit tired. He just had his medicine. Yeah, he's a good boy. Did I touch you? Don't leave. I bribed him up here with a treat. Please don't leave. Just settle. I won't touch you again. I'm sorry. Okay. So for those of you who are just joining us, this is from my first day. Actually, you can kind of see here in the background, and we have my mouse pointer so I can actually point stuff out. Like these over here are the gates where you come in. And so when the buses drop you off, I do a park and ride. The on-site parking, well, number one, it costs money, and number two, it's usually full by like 10 o'clock in the morning. Most of the free park and ride locations are really close to the fair, like less than a 5-minute bus ride. If you live farther out and you don't want to drive in, there's also like park rides at like Mall of America, places like that, where I think it costs like $5 and you can park there and round trip bus to and from the fair. And on Monday, it was me, my mom, my aunt, and my cousin. My dad could not go on Monday. And we used to have my grandma with me, and when she would come, my uncle would also come. But it's a little bit too much walking for her now. And as often as we tell her, well, you could get one of those little carts and run people over, or you could get a wheelchair and we'll push you around, the past 2 or maybe 3 years, she hasn't really come with us. I'm sorry, I'm being distracted by my hair in the camera. Okay. Never mind. It's gotten so big over the past couple days because it's been so humid. So when we got there, my cousin and my aunt had already been there for a while. Oh, one more flower picture. The Monarch. Little tiny bit of wing blur there. That's just enough to make it look in motion, right? I love seeing Monarch butterflies. Last summer, I felt like I didn't see any almost the whole summer. And I don't think they're on an endangered list yet, but there's so many less. So fewer. That also doesn't sound right. There's not as many as there used to be. And we grow like butterfly weed and stuff in our backyard where, well, I showed you guys on Discord, like the picture of the little monarch caterpillar baby. And a lot of places in Minnesota, it's like a push to create habitat for the monarch. So there's milkweeds and butterfly weeds all over the place. And this year I've been seeing so many. It's like a lot of times I feel kind of like, you know, even when you're aware of something, you don't really notice. And all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, such animal is endangered or something like that. And with the monarch butterflies, I felt like it impacted me. I mean, it didn't impact my life, but like I missed seeing them. And that sounds better, Sparkly. It was so nice this year to just feel like the impact of people making a conscious effort to create habitat for them has already made a difference. Yeah, and I mean, if you don't know, I'm not super like I don't know what a butterfly studier would be called, but monarchs are amazing. Like, I'm up in Minnesota. They migrate from Mexico up to Minnesota, have like 2 or 3 generations, and then those butterflies migrate back down to Mexico because obviously we have winter. Oh, yeah, that would be sad, Moon. I remember one year we had 5 caterpillars all at the same time. We noticed them when they were small, when they were like smaller than a quarter. And every day I would check on them and I would take pictures of them and I'd talk to them like, oh, you little caterpillar. And they grew so fat and big, and then one day they all decided it's time to move out. And those things can really move when they put a mind to it. But one of them I found on the sidewalk, and I don't know if it was Beanie or dude at the time or a bird or whatever, but the poor caterpillar was like practically sliced in half or bitten in half and just oozing green caterpillar guts all over the place. It was super sad. Yeah, it's like how do instincts like that evolve? I know, Moon, it was so sad, and I was like, oh. And then the other ones, like you look at it, you're like, oh, it's a cute little caterpillar. It can't go very fast. The fuck it can't. Motored on over there, I never could find any of them where they actually made their cocoons. I mean, I know I could have, like, you know, captured them and put them in a jar or whatever. I'm not 12. But it would have been cool to be like, you know, watch the cocoon on some other tree and see them come out of their chrysalis or whatever. Anyway, I really like seeing more monarchs around, and they were present at the state fair. The second day I went, I didn't think I could capture it on film, or I would have tried. I was coming in through the same spot, and I looked up. Like a dozen big, gigantic ass dragonflies just buzzing around. That was also really cool. I did the caterpillar project in elementary. We didn't bring them home, though. And that's why I will always remember how to spell chrysalis, Moon Bandit. Because that was a hard-ass word for a second grader. Same as for birds, you think something to do with magnetic fields. Yeah. It could be that, or, you know, when they talk, or when do they know how to leave? And you talk about the, you know, oh no, I can't remember the smart person word for it. But, like, you know, the length of the days, and they're like, oh, the day's short. It's time for us to head up out of here. All that's cool. But sometimes it gets them in trouble, too. Because, like, if they come up here and it's fucking still cold, like, well, but the days are long. We're supposed to be here, right? Nah, homie, it's still snow. That's always also very sad. It's like, you came up here too early. Okay. That could have been anywhere, but it happened to be at the fair, and it's a very Minnesotan way to open the fair, I think. So this was, oh goodness, what was this? This was my cousin's drink. Some kind of sangria beer, or sangria mixed with something, or beer made with sangria something. It was alcoholic. I'm pretty sure it was something to do with sangria, but I don't remember. And on my phone, I actually have a proper picture of this, which I did not download, which if I do a blog post will be included in the blog post. But, you know, the blog post may or may not happen. When you worked at a Natural Wonders years ago, we had the butterfly kits where, aw, they kept stealing them. How is somebody that wants to grow a butterfly a fucking thief? That just seems like... Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're, like, a friend of the butterflies, you would think you're a good person. Sangria is yummy. I generally don't drink much at the fair. I'm not a big drinker, period. It's not like I don't drink. I just generally don't. My stomach can be a bit sensitive. Sometimes in the morning, even if I don't have a hangover, I'll have a little bit of a sour stomach. There is one exception, and now that I think of it, I might as well tell you guys. I was going to say, you'll see. I don't think I took a picture either time. In the Creative Arts Building, there's vendors all over the place. There's food vendors all over the place. There's vendors of other stuff all over the place. In the Creative Arts Building, I always make sure to go up in there because they give you this little... It's not even a shot glass. Wine slushy, y'all. Wine slushy. It's so good. It's delicious. It's sweet. It's cold. It's refreshing. I mean, they're selling these kits. I don't know what's in the kit to, you know, get the perfect consistency to your wine slushy at home. But go up in there and get your little free shot glass of wine slushy. If you're with somebody, you encourage them to go get one, either for themselves or to pass to you. Momo, I'm not sure. I'm thinking probably at least another hour or maybe 2, because I've been going for half an hour and we're on like the 4th picture. So I'm sad you don't have enough data to watch right now, but if you get home in like I'd say if you get home within the next hour, you'll get to catch at least a little bit of the stream. And I've got an eyelash in my eyes. I'm sorry, you guys. Oh, I felt it earlier. I couldn't find it. Now it's returned to haunt me. Oh, wait, there it is. I hope that was it. I'm going to tell myself that it was. You're not a huge drinker either because it makes you so tired. Yeah, tiredness too. And because at the fair, I mean, you're already eating weird, a variety of weird things, and I just rather would not. Plus, like I said, the fair is expensive. Liquor is expensive. And I'm sorry, I didn't bring any wine slushies to share with the class. And for me, the thing that I also really like about it is I'm picky with wines. I don't want like the highfalutin fancy wine. I want some wine that's like really tasty and sweet. And that's what the wine slushies are. Although I think you could use the kit on whatever kind of wine you wanted. Yeah, they're so good, sparkly. Yes, I am. Ninja! Yes, it's the fair stream. You'll be home in 20 minutes. I will still be going then. I don't want to say I guarantee because anything could happen. Internet could die, but at this rate, we will for sure be going in 20 minutes. It's free to drink in your car before you walk in. My dad still usually manages to sneak in a little flask too. Honestly, I don't think you're supposed to. You can bring in food and drink. I don't think you're supposed to bring in liquor. But I think he just puts it in his pocket or whatever. Your bags get searched as of the past couple years. I mean, like when I was a kid, absolutely not. That shit didn't exist. And even like in fairly recent times, it didn't. But I want to say the past 3 years, they'll search your bags. So you can't bring in, too much contraband. But they don't check your pockets that I've seen. So who knows what people are bringing in. And they also had, while they were waiting for us, we were slightly late, slightly tardy. It was possibly my fault, but they actually got there super early too. They each had a corn dog. And the picture my cousin sent me, because she knows I usually blog all the pictures, like one of theirs was all mustard and one of theirs was all ketchup. Giant angry butterflies. It's a huge fair. Yeah. Oh no, Moon Bandit. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to remember what in particular it was that kind of prompted the additional searches a couple years ago. But it's surprisingly, yeah. Of course, I mean, maybe, do you walk through metal detectors? No. Yes? No. Yeah, none of you guys get any ideas at how lax the security is, please. The contraband cheese curds. Well, and I wondered if I read this article and I wondered if they had any like way to make sure you weren't scamming people. I mean, tickets are, now I should know this. It might have said that on that page I had up. I want to say, well, where, let's see here. Oh wait, yeah, here will tell me. Tickets are $12 to $14, I suppose, depending on if you're like a kid or a senior or a regular person. But you can also buy them before the fair starts at a discount, and I think they're only $11 then. It is. Well, the Minnesota Fair, it's not just a tent. It's a building. It's a huge building. And I would have taken a picture, except when I went by it was like nighttime, and I didn't think that the flash would be very kind. The fucking butterfly thieves. Where was I going with the ticket prices? Talking about money. Talking about how... Oh, getting in for free. So I read this article. This dude lost his wallet at the fair, and he got super upset. But he checked in with Lost and Found, and they were like, oh, don't worry, somebody will turn it in. Well, and it turns out somebody did. So he goes back the next day or whatever and goes to, I forget which gate he said, and said, "Oh, I'm here to go to the Lost and Found." So apparently you can get in if you have something at the Lost and Found for free. But then who follows you around to make sure you're not just hanging out at the fair? Let me use the Lost and Found technique. save fucking $11. So, and when I get there, I'm usually starting to get hungry. Because, I mean, when you know you're going to the fair, you don't eat anything beforehand, obviously. And I like to start out at the Blue Barn usually because it's right there. They usually have something good. You can obviously see this is my hand since there's nails in the shot. And what were these called? Bacon stuffed, some kind of tots, and the sour cream is also infused with bacon fat. And these were good. They weren't as good as something that you'll see later on, which is my previous favorite. These were a new food this year, and there's always like a few dozen new foods and returning favorites and a few things that are gone, and people are like, why the fuck can't I get that anymore? I think that would be an excellent idea, Sparkly. Like but I mean, some people would be free by the last day. There are people that go every single day. I mean, it goes, what is it, 12 days, 10 days? Thursday through the following, again, Monday. Math is hard. At least 10 days. I've never been quite that many times. The most I've been in 1 year is 3. And to wash down these delicious bacon stuff, I should have taken a bite and taken a picture of the inside of one of them too. This is, and it's going to sound weird to some people, let me just assure you that it's delicious, blueberry basil lemonade. And yes, there is a bean here, Ninja. He's a very, very good bean. Yeah, they were pretty good. I shared some. I mean, it was my starter, so I didn't share very many. And when you go with a lot of people, that's the other nice thing, because especially some places, it's like, that's way too much for one person to eat. Just share within your group, or pro tip, bring some bags, some Ziploc bags. I have my little, actually, it is still right here. Well, first, I have like my little small purse. I still haven't moved back to my large purse. And I have this little backpack, which I got at the fair a couple years ago. And that's good for like just having a few bags, whatever, maybe poncho. It's always good to have a few things with you at the fair. Luke, hello. Yes, it's an IRL stream. Hopefully I don't attract the wrong crowd, but it might also, is there a category for like food stuffs? Because a lot of these pictures are going to be food. Let me get that out of Beanie's way again. So I didn't really have very many leftovers on Monday when I went with my family. But when I went by myself on Thursday, I definitely needed my leftover bags. Waterinu, hello. Thank you for joining us. That's a cute little... Oh, it's like a little chocolate chip cookie having a party. I love it. Oh, you're not a fan of blueberry sunburnt? I love it. Last year I thought it was weak, like compared to the year before. This year it feels like it's stronger again, and I liked it. But I could see how a lot of people would not be down for the combination. So that was my starter. Then, this was my mom's starter. Fried green tomatoes. I honestly couldn't decide if I liked them or not. I had a couple bites. I mean, I've had them in the past. It's not like it's a new food for me. But I honestly was like, I just don't even know if I like this or not. It's a chocolate chip, not poop. Should come with a disclaimer. A little emote to match it with. Disclaimer. Not poop. Okay, so here we are. We actually are. What the heck was that? Oh, it's lip gloss. So when we came in, me and my cousin wanted to get our free St. Thomas bags, and I couldn't find anywhere on the internet that listed what times they were giving them away. They give away like batches at certain times a day. And so we just decided we'll go straight up to the education building. Right next to the education building is the creative, is it the creative arts or the creative activities building? I should know this. I know the fair like the back of my hand. I don't need no goddamn map to figure out. I always feel, I'll admit, I feel like a little sense of superiority whenever I see somebody and they're like looking at a map talking about, well, I think we're right here. We want to go over to the Coliseum. We need to go down Dan Patch. I'm like, man, don't you know your way around here yet? But then my little angel voice says, cut them some slack. Maybe they haven't been going to the fair for 37 years like certain people. And the cow statues in Mexico City. Yes. Oh, at the fried green tomato stand. Now that actually is something that maybe I would try. My mom usually gets the green tomatoes there. I don't think I've ever had the corn fritters. These are all out of knitted stuff. And as the sign says, Knittiapolis. It's like, can I zoom in here? Let's, ooh, I can. So, like, everything is, like, knit. Elvis's hair is knit. All these little knit squares. This little tail is all out of knit stuff. It's kind of cool. And there were a bunch of them. So I took a couple pictures. And they're, like, all similar in that they're all, like, knitting stuff. That's... Not what you expected. SSG Nitja. Could I say that? Yeah, I mean, it had to take forever. I mean, all of them are pretty freaking... I mean, even though it's just like basic... Okay, that's a little bit too close. Like basic knitted stuff. Like, I don't know how many... Oh, wait a minute. I just noticed. This one's food themed. Look at this. It's a corn dog. Look at this. It's an ice cream cone. It's cookies. It's an ear of corn. It's donuts. Oh, that's wonderful. Oops. That's great. I did not peep that at the time. That's great. That's so good. What hidden secrets does this horsey have? Zoom, please. The big fry and the small fry. And a little minion. I literally... See, this is kind of another one of, like I was talking about earlier, like, not experiencing the experience. I noticed that these were all made out of knit things. I didn't notice all these little details at the time. Look, we got a watermelon over here. That's great. And one more. This one has a really cool tail. What other secrets are in here? Oh, each of these is like a little leaf, like a little doily. And then there's other little animals. A loon, which is the state bird of Minnesota. A little squirrel. A little something. Roses. Oop, accidental person. Don't look at them. And a tail like a waterfall. That's cool. They're even cooler than I thought. Yeah. That's fun. It's fun to look at pictures and notice stuff that you haven't before. And as per our flower conversation, you can see in the background here, like these big planters. Like I said, there's stuff planted all over the place. I kind of take it almost for granted. Oh, Cat in the Hat happened to be at the fair. That was pretty damn cool. Ninja. This was in the education building. I don't know what he was teaching kids. Maybe just how to read. He was just hanging out. Okay, we've got cookies. This is like the cookies and stuff are all in the creative arts building too. I didn't take too many pictures inside the educational building because mainly it's just like colleges and stuff that will give you free pencils. I got a bag full of nice new free pencils for doing crosswords. Dude in the blue. Oh, this dude in the blue. Yeah, is he even actually, he's not even taking a picture. This is like one of those memes. When you don't know where the photo app is at. Damn it, I said I wasn't going to make fun of people. But maybe it's okay because you can't see his face. Really though. Well, I mean, and it's hard to tell. I mean, it's a little bit blurry. I don't see a camera app looking icon on there, and he's like he's already taken the picture. Education is for squares, says the medical student. I got a lot of pencils, and the one booth is kind of funny. They're always trying to give away mouse pads. Like, a lot of people don't even bother with mouse pads anymore. And, of course, oh, it's way over there. The iconic St. Thomas purple bag. There's a purple bag every year, and I believe I've gotten it every year. No, Moon. I remember I saw one, it was like a celebrity or something, and they were like acting like they were on the phone, but the phone screen showed they were not on the phone or something. Yeah. Guess what? You look even dumber now, dude. No. Okay, I said at the beginning. That's what I'm talking about. It's just too easy. I said that I went through the pictures and tried to remove anything that was blatantly seemed like it was showing other people rather than other people just like in the background as a consequence. Because I wasn't trying to put strangers out there on Twitch. Yeah, mine doesn't either. But the funny thing is they had exactly the same ones they had as last year. Because guess what? Look at this. Minnesota Council on Disability. Oh, it's not a school. See, I'm bad. I took a whole bunch of their mouse pads last year because I had a really big thing of lemonade, and I was like, hey, I could make one of them cup cozies out of this. Like, y'all got some rubber bands? He was like, yeah, we do. That's an excellent idea. So I had my cup of lemonade wrapped in mouse pads and rubber bands. Dr. Crotron, hello. No, you want to know what cats love even more than being tables? Being left the fuck alone, Ninja. He almost left already one time because I dared to pet him. So, like, this is all just, like, delicious, award-winning, perfect, flawless, round cookies. I mean, like, at just a glance, it looks like a bunch of cookies, but look at all these. Do your cookies come out this round and perfect? These are grade A ribbon-winning cookies, y'all. From all over the great state of Minnesota. If I just go to the next picture, will it... Okay, it'll automatically zoom out. More grade A award ribbon-winning cookies. Cats do like being pillows. And sometimes they like being smooshed. But sometimes they're just waiting for an excuse to embarrass you in front of your friends and leave you all by yourself. They are not wax. And you know how I know? Because if you come on like the last couple days of the fair, some of this food shit ain't looking too award winning anymore. Let me just put it that way. Even the ones in the refrigerated cases, it's like, ooh. Like, new. Was cookies? Yeah, Bean usually loves pets. Oh, did I say your name? But when I touched him earlier, he looked like he might get out of here. Hello, by the way, Transcendent. Coming out alert to say this is such a good idea for a stream. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Ludo, and enjoying your lurk. I just, I thought it might be cool. I may have missed a year here and there, but I usually post all my state fair pictures on my blog. And when I mentioned I was going to the fair, people were interested. So I thought, give this a try. Getting pulled away for dinner. Enjoy your dinner, Dr. Crotron. I'm sorry. Sorry you have to eat with your wife. That came out wrong. I didn't mean it like that. Okay. More cookies. This is like jams and stuff. Like jams of all the colors of the rainbow. She heard that. Oh no. Well, then she heard me say that I didn't mean it the way that it sounded. The thing is, like, I'm able to be, I think, at least moderately entertaining streaming by turning off a lot of the filters that I usually have between my brain and my mouth. But I'll catch it almost as soon as I say it, and I'm like, no, no, not that way. Yeah, I don't even know all the different kinds of jams that we have here. My camera's probably not quite good enough that I can. Wow, almost I could. Almost I could. I mean, you can assume the green ones are mint or some shit. But it could be. Oh no, does it say gooseberry? Looks too long to say mint. But I mean, I took a picture of them mainly because I like all the colors. Quilts and little houses, and actually I don't know what this is. Something with some sort of rocks. But some of the quilts are really beautiful, and in fact, I'm like just realizing and having a moment of regret. I thought about coming back in here when I was by myself, and I didn't, and I actually didn't look at the cross stitch this year, which I don't know if I can call myself a cross stitcher anymore because it's been a while. But I really love cross stitch, and the cross stitches that they have on display at the fair are usually like fucking blow your mind cross stitch. No jelly, just jam. That actually would be a good band name. Before you hit send. Yeah, a lot of times I mean, even when I used to work, I would do that. I would like type out a whole response and I'd be like, no, don't send that. And I do it in Twitch chat sometimes too. It's just like, oh no, probably not. That's not a good idea. How to make quilts and knit stuff. I know how to knit, Moon. It's complicated but not hard. But all I know how to make is washcloths. So probably like actual stuff would be hard. You can crochet but not that well. Yes, we have the RPGC. I feel like I mispronounced that. Stolen from Jerry's channel. Sorry for crunching on ice, you guys. I really don't know if the microphone picks that up, but I'm guessing it probably does because it picks up fucking everything. We kind of turned that into a little bit of a meme on Jerry's channel. Anytime we see something that he doesn't see, or just if we see something, or just for whatever reason, ever since he played through Senua's Sacrifice, that was an awesome game. That was really a cool game. Here we have another quilt, and wow, what is this thing down here? It looks like it's made out of toothpicks or something. A little tiny house model. Oh, I think we're about to come to something really, really cool, really crafty, but well, I was maybe one of the first people that saw Moon Bandit. A lot of other people, it was like we were. Well, of course, we did. At the time Jerry was doing it, we didn't have that emote, but we knew that the rune he was looking for, we were referring to as a small p. So we were just spamming p's in chat, little small p's, small lowercase p's. Sparkly's always going. Also, not always. Also going for dinner. Enjoy your lurk. Really cool. Yes, I was right. This is a lamp made out of seashells, people. Like, okay, let's zoom in a little bit. Like with little, I don't even know how they stuck them together. Is that like solder? Is that what? I don't know. But freaking just look at this. I mean, it's not just like jumbled together. Like it's a lamp-shaped lamp. It's beautiful. It's freaking amazing. Like the transparency of the shells, and you can see like this is one of the things that impressed me most. If in the day we were there, it was really hot, and the buildings are not air conditioned, so on hot days it's harder to be inclined to wander around in here, but there's so many cool things in here. They weird you out. Here's a little side view, and the base that they, I don't know if they chose or made. I mean, we've got little dragonflies on here. It's really cool. I like that a lot. Of course, on the other hand, my own personal like decor. I mean, where do you put that? I mean, it fits right in at the fair, but like in my house, where would I put that? Another really cool quilt. And wow, what is this? Like a jumble of pins or bottle caps or something. Another cool quilt. This. Okay, so as far as I can tell, they tie-dyed that butterfly on there. Like, how exactly do you have to tie stuff off to end up with a butterfly pattern like that? Bad luck to bring home seashells. Since when? I never heard that. I feel like that could be turned into a meme. Like you see somebody you don't like and you just put a seashell emote. Do we have a seashell emote? No. Well, there's that. Could be airbrush too. I really liked it though. It'd really be cool to have on like a shirt or something. Are we done with the creative arts building? Yes, we are. And it's hard to tell because it looks just like a pita full of lettuce. But this, I believe, was some falafel that my cousin got. So there's like, the falafel balls underneath all that. You like my seashell find, Moon Bandit? What about like if you take a seashell and then you like give it to somebody else? Is that giving them bad luck? Or is it still only bad luck on you? You're home. Welcome back, Momo. We are slightly farther, not much. We've been through the creative activities building. We're still on day 1 of the fair, so we're not even halfway through. That's my cousin's falafel, if you didn't hear me say that. A highlight of the fair. And I should have almost got like a side view, but I think you can, with the hands in there for size reference, the cheese curd stand, there's cheese curd stands all over. Different varieties and different little twists to them. This is one of the original ones in the food building, and they sell the bucket o' curds as opposed to just the little boats. And the bucket is equal to 3 of the boats that we have the ketchup in. Well, of course, Ninja. The good curds always squeak. And a few of these got brought home from my dad. Not many. Not many. They're delicious. I kind of wish I'd gotten more on my day back by myself, but I was trying not to. Like I said, stuff's expensive and it's easy to just blow through money if you just like buy every single thing you have a slight whim for. I try to at least have some discretion. I guess that's true. Like a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle isn't a square. Dirty fibbers. Well, we are right next door to Wisconsin. I would be pretty damn disappointed if we didn't have some good cheese curds here. Here is some more. So like off to the left over here is the food building, and this over here is the horticulture building. And right here you can kind of see the edge of it right here. They're like these big square blocks. And we sat down on a couple of those to eat our cheese curds. Moon Bandit. Oh. Never been cheese curded. I'm so sad for you. Cheese curds are delicious. They're even just at the store, they're delicious. Obviously deep fried and hot and gooey and cheesy, they're even better. Man, you gotta get some. Well, you gotta get some good cheese curds, Moon. If there are no good cheese curds around you, I don't want you to go get any from fibbers like are selling to Ninja's grocery store. um, I thought that this area we were sitting next to was looking better than it has in previous years. I mean, this is the fairgrounds all year long. I mean, it's the fair for 10 days, but I mean, it's not a temporary thing. This whatever, however much it is, like a square mile or two or whatever, it's always the fairground. Sometimes there's other stuff there, but it's not like it's not set up in a parking lot somewhere. You've never had cheese curds either. Oh my god, Waterinu. I mean, to me this is all so normal, because like I go every year, and I've always gone every year except for the year that I went to the Renaissance Fair instead, which was also cool. But since I hadn't like been going there since I was a kid, it didn't have the same, like, there's always new stuff at the fair, but there's always stuff that always has been there, so it's nostalgia every year too. You feel like a foreigner when it comes to American food. Subs receive mail ordered cheese curds. We gotta get you trying some more food, Moon Bandit. Texas barbecue. Barbecue is also good. Just curds in an envelope. Ew. Mail curds. Can you imagine how like, just imagine the look on your own face if you were to open an envelope and have cheese curds inside of it, Ninja. It would literally be the what is the emote? No, not Dance Game. The other one. What face? Maybe a little bit of Dan's Game in there too. Okay. Bullying is wrong, Ninja. But tongue tacos. I'm sorry, what? I mean, I just think like like that kind of a tongue taco. And I've never heard of pickled pork skin either, but I'm not shocked, because my dad is a huge fan of pickled pig's feet. And he also likes fried pork skin, so I don't see any reason why he wouldn't also be a fan of pickled pork skin. But I don't think we have that around here. Yeah. So mash Dan's Game and What Face together, and that's what you get when you get mailed cheese curds. Oh, they do have the Renaissance, or curds at the Renaissance. What I remember of the Renaissance was it was cool, but I felt like there wasn't enough food stands, and then I was like, you probably are comparing it in your head to the state fair. There's really actually plenty of food here. Tongue tacos are very... I'd try them. I would refuse to call them tongue tacos. I would just call them tacos. Can I get some of those tacos? What kind? Those ones. I'd try it. Yeah, no, I mean, it's 100% not my thing, Ludo. I can't do it. Sunburn is noping out. Nope. Not a pork fan minus bacon. I mean, bacon is top tier, of course. I'm a huge fan of bacon. I know Moon Bandit is not. No, because you know what tacos are supposed to taste like? It's supposed to taste like fucking taco seasoning. So it doesn't really matter what you put in there. We usually do like turkey tacos, because it's like moderately healthier. The quotes were for healthy, by the way. Seitan. I can do seitan. I mean, and tofu too. I'm not like anti-vegetarian food. I just personally couldn't be vegetarian for more than a few days, because I like animal things. Can't stop the kittens. Yeah, we are. Well, the landscape, it's kind of funny to end on this one. We've been on food stuff, which is encouraging even more food talk than normal in the chat, including tongue tacos. But welcome, kittens. We are revisiting the state fair. Today is actually the last day the fair is going, which is like the end of summer to me. This little bush here We actually have one of these in my backyard. The one in my backyard is bigger than any one I've ever seen anywhere else. They're only supposed to get this big, which is like 4 to 5 feet. The one in my backyard is like probably 9 feet. It's like a monstrosity. Tempeh greater than basic tofu. Tofu has its place, Ninja. You ever have some soft, silky tofu deep fried, and then you get the little crispy outer shell, and you get like a little bit of like sesame type of sauce on top of it? Nom. Pixar, it didn't happen. Was that for my 9-foot Tiger Eye Sumat Moon Bandit? Firm also has its place, stir fried up. Some maybe baked a little bit sometimes, but baking tofu is really easy to dry it out. I'm sure I do have pictures somewhere. The question would be finding it. I mean, I take pictures a lot. When my grandpa was still alive, he didn't get out very often because he had post polio. He was in a wheelchair. So whenever there was something he was interested in, or whenever I went and did anything, I would take a shitload of pictures. And then when I went to visit him, we would do slideshows just like this on the TV. Once I figured out I could hook up my camera to the TV. And we did that for as long as I had my camera and as long as he was alive. So it kind of got this habit, and we still do it now. Like, I'll be showing these pictures to my grandma on the TV. We'll be doing a little slideshow for her since she didn't come with us this year. Of course, even when she did go with us, that was I'm noticing things in my pictures right now I didn't notice when I took them. So even when she would come with, it'd be like, well, when did you take that? Or I didn't see that. So picture slideshows are fun, and this has been really fun so far streaming it. I'm so glad you guys are having a good time. The texture of scrambled eggs. Yeah, usually I would say, yeah, like firm to medium tofu, and once it's cooked is kind of scrambly egg. Especially like if you freeze it, it tends to get a little bit crumbly. Goes okay in like chili and stuff. I dig tofu. I can do tofu. But okay, so one of the dishes that I really like also has sausage in it. So guess what the tofu all tastes like? Sausage. Is that like verboten among the vegetarian community? Make the tofu taste like meat. Okay. So anyway, we were sitting here on the big old rocks eating our cheese curds, and I was admiring this lovely, I mean, it's like a little waterfall, you guys. Do you see this little miniature waterfall here? Look, it's a little waterfall in the middle of the fair. It was really peaceful. It was beautiful. I mean, from right here, you would not tell that you're in the middle of however many 100,000 people I said. And then, after the cheese curds, I was very thirsty, so I went and got an orange treat. With 2 E's, mind you. Very similar to kind of like Orange Julius in flavor. Pretty tasty. And one of the reasons I like to get that is because I had a coupon. And I think I tossed the coupon book in the recycling. But you can buy this little coupon book for $5. Guess what's inside of it? A $5 coupon for the grocery store you buy it. So the thing is basically free. It's got so many good coupons in it. It's like $2.50 off of this, which, I mean, I'm not going over the prices for everything, but like I said, the fair is expensive. So having coupons that are like a couple dollars off items really comes in handy. The first year we got the coupon book, we were like, why did we never have the coupon book before? This thing is worth its weight in gold. There's so many good coupons in here. The little miniature waterfall sunburn. I love like little water features in yards. It's so cool. Yeah. Yes, the orange treat. And here's another shot of the garden, like a slightly more, like the waterfall is over here on the left side. And then there's like a little path over here. This is from the top, so we were sitting like up behind the fence over here, and then the waterfall is like here. All these pretty little lilies and stuff, and like the water lilies that have like this these little tiny small leaves. Okay, that's too, my camera's not that good, but you see how like each little grouping is made up of like little tiny small leaves? I think water lilies are cool. Which also just made me sad for a minute because I'm realizing we possibly have missed water lily season at Como Zoo and my mom wanted to see them. Gonna have to check on that. It's a frog, y'all. A tiny, tiny frog. This frog was like about as big as the tip of my finger. And he's chilling up on top of right here. This is the frog. Don't believe me? Well, let's see how my camera handles zooming in this far. There he is. It's a frog. He's so small. He's adorable. Black Sun, hello. I don't know if you were here earlier and I just didn't see, but hello. He was so adorable. This plant is kind of gnarly, but the frog was adorable. Hello, frog. Look, his little arms are like a cat or something. Oh, and look, there's like an action shot of a bee right here, too. Right in front of this lady's face. So yeah, you see, this frog is like similar in size to a bee, you guys. You just got here. Okay, good. I mean, not good that you missed part of the stream, but good that I was not neglecting. 'Cause, I mean, like a huge part of this stream in particular, well, a huge part of every stream, okay, is interacting with chat, and a huge part of this stream in particular is interacting with chat. And no, the bee is not attacking the lady. Making sure I'm not getting any questions or anything. Yeah. And the last time I was at the zoo Sunburn, okay, so Como has a couple sections. There's like the zoo, there's the conservatory. Attached to the conservatory is a building. It's called the Amazon Experience. They've got little tiny, like bright blue poison frogs in a little like tank. And a couple times ago when I was there, we ran into a dude who told us, he was like, hey, look over here. And he pointed out one, it was loose. It was like in the trees and in the foliage and stuff. We're like, oh my gosh, we telling somebody? He was like, no, they're always loose in here. There's a whole bunch more than are in the little aquarium tank, just fucking loose in the exhibit. Poison frogs. I mean, they're tiny. They're probably not going to fuck with anybody, but there's loose poison frogs in there. I was like, what? I was like both concerned and thinking it was cool. But so now every time I go, I have to like have my eyes peeled and be on the lookout for the frogs. And I mean, if you think they're hard to find in the little display, just imagine you've got like this whole Amazon forest and you're looking for little tiny frogs. Frog tattoos. That's cool, Black Sun. I just tell people like, well, you have to post that in Discord. I would like for you to post that in Discord if you don't mind showing tattoos upon your own personal body. Seems like that would be a little bit personal to just order you to share with us, but I would love to see that. Okay, this picture, remember this for later. This goes with one of the videos that we're going to look at the very end. So just remember this. This is inside of the horticulture building, which is all about like growing stuff, and I think it's probably Latin or some shit. I don't know specifically what it means. Concerned but thinking it's cool. Exactly. I mean, they're not wanting to get stepped on, so they're hiding, but yeah. Okay, these three are all the same. This is all like fresh, squeezed, delicious, thirst-quenching apple cider. And like a lot of the drinks at the fair are expensive. Like, you know, lemonade might be like $4 or $5 for a cup this size. The apple juice I think is only $2. So it's delicious and it's a deal. And we drank those down pretty quickly. Ooh, the crop art. Okay, so these just look like kind of weird, wonky pictures, right? Anybody that's familiar with crop art will know, or as I'm about to show you guys when I zoom in here. This is all done with seeds. This is a thing. Seeds. Little, like, I mean, some of them are a little wonkier than others, but dude, seeds. There's more. I took this one just because I knew that I would be showing it on Twitch, and it's not a very advanced design, but it's Mario. Come on. It's so cute. Like, oh, you tried, kid, and it's recognizable, so I guess you did a pretty good job, man. And we have Operation Seeds, you guys. Seeds. Oh, he even got fake little names in there. Sweet Martha's, which is Sweet Martha's Cookies. That's funny. They renamed. And they've actually got him in there. The Sky Tower, Andrew Zimmerman. That's pretty good. That's pretty freaking good. I just can't imagine the patience. I mean, look at this. This is a good one. Seeds. Swampiest busy town ever. I don't know what that, Russian? I don't know. But like, man. I mean, I'm pretty patient. I've done glitter placement on my nails. This is another level of patience. Seeds. Seeds. I mean, not every single one is going to be individually placed, but in some cases, yeah, actually it is. Like where you're trying to get legible words. Like sitting there like, man. Yeah. Seeds. Okay. Yeah. Right, Sparkly? Like, who the fuck is doing this? I don't care how long your winters are. I gotta zoom in on this one too. Seeds. Well, that's a little too far. My camera can't quite take it. But you guys, seeds. In fact, I took a little picture of the legend. Amaranth seeds, bird's foot trefoil, brown mustard, chia, lentils, quinoa, and wild rice. Seeds! Okay, seeds. Not seeds. But also outside of the horticulture building. It's a bell made out of plants. Hens and chicks and moss roses and all kind of shit. Long winters equals crazy people. I mean, what else are you gonna do when you're just sitting around at home by the fire? Yeah, the butter sculptures. The butter sculptures are a little bit weird. I mean, in a way it makes sense, but on the other hand, it's like, why though? Like, I mean, plus there's like so much you could do with that butter. Like, just imagine how much. I had this idea. There's a lot of food at the fair. I had this idea when we were sitting at Grandma's house eating bread last week. I said, you know, that would be a really good idea for a fair, like, food stall. Like, just fucking fresh baked, hot out the oven bread with butter just slathered over it and freshly melting because the butter is so delicious. Or the butter is so delicious and hot. The bread is so delicious and hot. I think that would be a perfect state fair food choice. This is why people had so many children. Okay, you mean because the winters are boring, but for a minute I thought you meant so that the kids would be around to help them make seed art. We need one more kid to help place the seeds. Alright, so I like to look at this every year. It's usually quite similar. I'm not sure if they replant it every year or like hens and chicks. Which are called that because, well, this is almost all hens. Like when you plant them normally, there'll be like one big one like this, and then it's surrounded by like a bunch of little small ones. So it's the hen and the chicks. And they're perennials. We used to have one, and then one year it bloomed. This incredible tall flower grew out of it, and then the next year it died. So I don't know if the flower was just like, oh, my last hurrah. Let me scatter some seeds for hopeful future generations, or if we just had like a really tough winter or what. Yeah, I like them. They're cool, and I love moss roses. Oh yeah, so Holy Land Deli has like actual. A lot of the places in here, it's like, do you just do all fairs and just travel around? But Holy Land Deli is a local restaurant, and they have a stall in the bazaar. And like you look on the board that shows like pictures of the food, and it's like this container with like this little section here filled with hummus and the rest of this filled with chips. But this is what you actually get. It's a shitload of hummus and fresh pita chips. No. Yeah, we just spread these seeds of future generation. I may have unintentionally started something here. And this is pretty good, but I have to admit I'm a little bit of a hummus snob. I'm picky on my hummus. I'll eat this, it's good, but my hummus of choice is from the Athens Cafe. It's across the Parkway in Robbinsdale. It's really close. And their hummus is the best hummus I've ever in the world had. But this was good. And my cousin usually gets this every year. You'll eat any hummus, to be honest. I mean, I'll eat most kinds, but in my head, I'm always comparing it back to the Athens. And a couple times, I remember like for a while, I would just like try and buy every kind of hummus I could find at the store just to compare them. And a couple were just like, man, I'm really not sure if I want to finish eating this whole thing. Like I like a hummus that's easily dippable and creamy. So if you get like a thick hummus it's like chunky peanut butter, chunky hummus, I'm not there for it. One Sabra flavor. If I recall, Sabra's pretty good. There was one brand, and I don't remember the name because it's been several years. They had a artichoke hummus that was so good, and of course because I liked it, it was discontinued. All their other flavors are still available except for the one that was my favorite. It's the story of my life. I joke, but I'm kind of serious too. Whenever I like a flavor and then all of a sudden I go to look for it and it's fucking gone. Also from the Holy Land Deli, usually I would talk vast amounts of shit about this. One of my mom's favorite thing is this mint lemonade. It's green because of the mint. And in previous years, it's been so strong and so tart that it's like, like intolerably so for me. But it happened to be the group drink at the time. I was like, well, let me just get a slight little, and I was like, oh, that's actually better this year. I don't object to the mint in there, even though it makes it a weird color. I'm positive that it's sweeter this year than it has been in previous years. My mom claims that it tastes the same. It will be forever up to debate, but I did kind of like it this year. It was kind of tasty. It's a little bit weird. And last year I had a picture of her standing by the duck pond at the fair, and the water was the same color as her drink. It was really, I mean, it looked like she had just like scooped a cup of water out of the duck pond. And that was pretty bad. Yeah. I mean, tart is good. I mean, it's lemonade. You want it to be a little bit tart, but before it was just like it would hit me. Like when stuff hits me right here and it's just like, I'm not about it. I'm getting slightly warm too. Oh, it is getting warm in here. Okay, I'm going to turn on my fan. Hold on just a second. The fan on my air conditioner. Let that get going there. It should blow more directly on me. I'm actually going to ask you guys, how loud is that? Should I turn on my filter or are we still good? Oh, I thought he was leaving, but he's just getting into those toes. Oh, you guys don't even hear it. That's excellent. That's really good. Go cardioid microphone pattern. That's good to know, because then I have had a few people when the filter is active say that they can hear like a slight whine to the audio, which I have to assume is them being sensitive to the frequency that's trying to balance out that noise. But it's quiet enough apparently on just the fan that I can get away without it. Obviously, if it was actually on air conditioner, it would be louder. And my old air conditioner was even louder than this one. I've really been pleased with this air conditioner purchase. I should go write him a review, like I keep getting emails. How did you enjoy your purchase of the higher air conditioner? I'd never even heard of this brand before, which made me nervous. You've also got a fan on. Yeah, I thought I was going to be okay. But it's like I have one window fan. It's like bringing in air from outside. And then I've got like a oscillating fan that's kind of on its last legs. But the new air conditioner... Oh, there's my hand. Like blows right directly at me. Bean is so cute right now. Look at that little face. Yeah, I'm talking about you, man. My mom has said about this in the past, you can drink it like half down and then add water and it's strong enough that it's still good. So that just gives you a clue as to how strong it is. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, you're adorbs, Bane. Here we have a pork chop on a stick. And there are some things at the fair that are done like by multiple different vendors or multiple different ways. And this is like kind of more the older, more established booth, and I'd had this one before. It's really good. It's so tender. When we get to the picks from my second day, there will be another pork chop, and I'm gonna tell you right now, this pork chop is the winner. The other one just could not touch it on tenderness. This one was so good and delicious. So good and delicious. And I'm trying to think timeline here. We may be approaching the point at which I missed getting pictures of a couple things because we were getting rained on. And we knew it was going to rain, probably. We were prepared. We had ponchos and stuff. But I didn't want to take my camera out in the rain. So I did miss a couple things, and I'll have to see if I can remember exactly what I missed. There's my mom's corn dog, covered in mustard. I shouldn't do that. Mustard is okay. When I was a kid, mustard was not an option. But as an adult, I actually don't hate mustard. But I would probably put mustard on mine, ketchup on mine with maybe just like a tiny swipe of mustard. Like majority ketchup and just like a swipe of mustard. And I mean, I can almost guarantee she used her finger to get that even application. My cousin got a lemonade, and I'm a lemonade snob. I feel like that's like at least the second time I've called myself a snob about something. But not all the lemonades at the fair are created equal. You're mustard all the way. Chicago dogs, yeah. Some of the lemonade places, you think it looks good and you think it looks delicious. They'll put like a half a squeezed lemon in there, until you realize that half a squeezed lemon is taking up lemonade space. You cannot drink the half of a lemon. It's just taking up real estate. And shit's expensive enough already without wasting valuable cup real estate on an already squeezed lemon. So I have like a handful. In fact, you can see it in the background here. The lemonade stands that also sell cheese on a stick are among the best lemonade stands at the fair. My personal opinion, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Crime against nature. This is just a picture, a little bit of the crowd. And you can see it's really not that crowded right here. I mean, there's a lot of people, but there's plenty of room to walk. And I wish I had taken a crowd shot when I first walked in. I took a lot more crowd shots on Thursday when it was even more crowded. And one was from a location similar to here. So you can mentally like snapshot this for comparison later on the road. And this is another example, like I said, of places that do similar things. There's a whole bunch of different kinds of corn dog stands and a whole bunch of different kinds of pronto pup stands. And if you do not know the difference, corn dogs have a cornmeal batter. Pronto Pups have a pancake batter. I'm not a huge fan of either, but if I had to pick, I would probably be on Team Corn Dog. Moon Bandit, I have an even better idea. And that idea is called First Moon Bandit Stream Mexico Fair. How about that? No. You're already... I would just be sitting here, I'd be like, here's a picture. I can't tell what's going on. I can't read any of the signs because they're probably in Spanish. You'd watch it either way. I would do more streams like this. I don't do like cool stuff very often, but like definitely next time I go to the zoo, or the next time I go to, like, I don't know, where else do I go? The Art Institute? Art in Bloom was really cool this year. I would definitely do another slideshow stream. This has been really fun so far. Okay, so we're headed over here, I believe. Well, we'll see. We'll see in our next... There's my lemonade, the larger lemonade, because I was super thirsty. Like, I finished eating my pork chop and I looked, I was going to get a drink of my cousin's, and I was like, oh, her lemonade's gone already. Sometimes they have like a tent at Como Zoo, Black Sun. I'm not sure if there's any other butterfly places. There was a butterfly house. It's like more than a tent. It's actually a whole corner of the building at the fair, but I don't think I got any pictures because it was kind of dark when I got there, and they've got like netting all over. I was like, that's just going to be not going to be cooperating with my flash. I love it. I don't know if Ninja is still here to see this puppy dog eating popcorn because I think he must be gone or in a deep lurk, because otherwise I'm sure he would bust out the chicken with the popcorn. I'm pretty sure he did above somewhere. And some, you could tell by like how many drinks show up in my pictures, like what the temperature was. One year, I swear, got about 6 of these and was okay with it. You know, it really can... There we go. Thank you, Ninja. I really like that puppy eating popcorn, though. Plus, Arcom Nom. I mean, that's a cool sounding emote. No, I do not. I'm not a fan of the corns, and you know that. That corns emote is just weird. So yeah, this year, there were a couple points, especially when we were in the merchandise mart looking at the nail files, because I wanted one and my mom also wanted another one because she has a big one. She wanted one for her purse. I was in there and I was almost regretting having put on my eyebrows for the day. The sweat was just running down my face, like down my chest, and you ladies with boobs, you know what happens. I mean, it was hot. It was really hot. This was before it rained, but we've been there on hotter days. Like, if it had been any hotter, I would have really thought twice about going inside any of the buildings. Oh, these, I probably would not get these again next year. I wanted them. I planned on getting them. I had a coupon. They're like ginormous Rice Krispie bars. The Oreo Rice Krispie bar was the best one. The one with the Fruity Pebbles was a little bit sweet even for me. And the one that was supposed to be kind of s'moresy flavored honestly seemed a little bit stale with the s'mores graham cereal pieces. So I got those, but I was not fully happy with those. There are fried Oreos. In fact, I think the fried Oreos is right next to the stand that sells these. It's like a fried candy bar. You could get Oreos, Reese's. I know there's a separate one that does the Twinkies, but I think they also have Twinkies there. Snickers, like a wide variety of candy bars and sweet things. I don't know. I might have tried the fried Oreos the very first year they had them. It's a bit much for me, and I like Snickers. I'm not a fan of Snickers regularly, so I'm not interested in deep fried Snickers either. This was my cousin's ham and Swiss crepe, I believe. And I didn't have any of that either because I'm not a huge fan of Swiss. Oh, this is another alcoholic thing my cousin got. I don't remember what it was though. I took a sip of it. That was actually pretty good, but I don't remember what it was. You love crepes with ham and Swiss? It's a really cool thing because, I mean, some of the stuff there is obviously pre-prepared or whatever, or they have like a line going. The crepe place, they actually do the whole thing and make them right in front of you. So they're super fresh and they have all kinds of different flavor options, both sweet and savory. I'm sorry, my foot itches. I think I have another little small eczema breakout popping out there, and that's why it itches. Yeah, I can see how fried Oreos... I mean, out of what they have at the fried candy bar stand, I would be more likely to get the Oreos than I would, like I said, like a Snickers or something. That would be cool at the grocery store. Our grocery store doesn't have anything like that. Sometimes there might be like a food truck parked outside. But generally not. You guys saw me eating my little candy when I was playing Hollow Knight. It was this. When I got it home, I cut them up into little, like, inch-long little nuggets. And, I'm making everybody hungry, probably. I cut them up into little bite-sized nuggets so I didn't have to, like, just be gnawing directly off of the... I mean, they're like... Well, I'm off the camera. They're really long ropes. And they're like a filled licorice coated in, like, sour stuff. Apparently it's from Spain. I spent way too much time online researching if there was someplace I could get these other than the fair. And, like... It's apparently like imported from Spain, and it was surprisingly difficult to find. I found this company's website, but like it's expensive even when it's not the fair. I was like, man, is it just because it's the fair that these are expensive? No, it's because they're a weird candy that's not carried very many places and is imported from another country. It's actually they're right here. Actually, I wouldn't mind a piece right now. So like. We've got like the little soury coating, and then it's actually kind of hard to see, but like it's filled with like candy in the inside of it. This one is green apple. Ice cream. What kind of ice cream, Sunburnt? I feel like we were talking about ice cream in the other stream. Okay. Maybe you have, Moon. I like them a lot. I probably don't need a place to get them the rest of the year. It's probably a good thing that they're not super easy to get. But I always get slightly just like, if I go on Amazon and I can't find what I'm looking for. Like, how does Amazon not have every damn thing? Oh, barbecue ribs. That would be delicious. I don't even like chocolate, and that sounds good. I did not eat much before stream because I couldn't decide what to eat, so I just had some rice pudding, and I'm aware that's not a meal. These are the alpacas. We're after the rain now because you can see they're slightly damp. And I like this picture because this one looks like he just needs a speech bubble popping out here. My mom adores these alpacas. She will go and just like gaze upon them or like talk to them. I just went over long enough to get a picture to show you guys. They sell all kind of stuff made out of alpaca fur or wool. I apparently tried to combine those two words. You're the emo one? Do you mean this one with all these bangs? It's just like cool. And then this is like the annoying brother or sister. Like, hey, what you doing? And they're not inside any of the animal barns. They're kind of like just outside the animal barns. Ooh, here we go. So at the beginning when we were looking at the bacon stuffed tots, and I said they weren't as good as something that you'll see later, this is that something. This is mashed potatoes on a stick. So it's basically the same thing, except instead of having like tater tot texture, it's mashed potato texture. It's got bacon in there, it's got cheese in there, there's little deep fried numminess. Well, and I guess I don't think this sour cream has pork fat imbued into it. Ooh, I will look at those after stream. What? Well, no, I'm gonna look at it now because everybody's saying they look really good. Ooh. You know, I'm always super. Ooh. I'm gonna look at that some more later. The things, the little hard candies with the designs inside. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those made, but it's so freaking fascinating. I mean, it's just like the Fimo stuff that they sell for nails. Like they make a thing and they make a big old thing, and then they like make it skinny, and then they like chink 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 and pop off the little candies. So this is an old favorite of mine. I usually get this every year. And I just decided that texturally, I like the mashed potatoes a little bit better than the tots. So, plus this has like, seems like maybe that also contributes a little bit more like deep fried goodness, like that sort of area. But those were really good. Ate those up. Here's another crowd shot. Like the midway is over on this side. And up here, this little sign here says buses. This is on the way to the transit area. This here is one of those ridiculous things that, you know, for youngsters that want to waste a shitload of money to get their I don't understand. I mean, maybe not everybody would be scared. I was gonna say to get the piss scared out of them, and then I was like, well, maybe that actually happens to somebody, and maybe I shouldn't joke about that. Yes, I agree, Sunburn. But it's like it's not part of the midway, but there's a couple other of those type of rides over here. Oh, my aunt got this. I usually get some of this too. I got a couple spoonfuls of hers. You'll either be like, that actually sounds pretty good, or you'll be like, fucking what? No. This is sweet corn ice cream. You're such a big baby. And it comes with a little cookie, and what is this stuff called? This little crunchy corn stuff, and the sauce is like a bacon caramel or something. I admit it sounds also weird. It's so good. It's delicious. You weren't into it? Yeah, I was so skeptical the first year. I was like, corn's not supposed to go in ice cream, but my mom got some and I was like, oh, it's actually delicious. I imagine too that it's something that could, depending on who's making it, have a wide range of how it might turn out. Like, I mean, looking at this picture, I can maybe see a couple little pieces, but it's not like thick with corn, you know. But it's one of my favorites. My cousin, we were telling my aunt about it because she has not been to the fair with us in, I forget what she decided, 20 years, maybe not quite that long, a really, really long time though. And my cousin was like, yeah, that ice cream is nasty. But my mom was like, no, the ice cream's really good. And I was like, I like it. And so my aunt tried it and she really, really liked it too, which I wasn't too surprised because her and my mom are like two peas in a pod. The Pokey sisters, we call them, because they're often quite slow. What are these things called? Nordic bagels? Not bagels. Nordic waffles? I think these were called. And I think this one my cousin got was salmon. And I did not get a taste of that. They had a bunch of these were new this year also, and they had a bunch of different flavors. Now that I see it, I'm kind of regretting it. It looks good. I'm going to have to eat after this stream, after revisiting all this food with you guys. Glass. So I always forget. I never can remember if it's pronounced foci or foci. But they have a booth at the fair where they show some of their members' glasswork, and they have a stage where every hour on the hour they show live glass blowing. You guys, it is so cool. It is so fun to watch. I have some videos that I'm going to show you guys at the end. It's often one of the last things I do, and their last show is at like 8 o'clock as it's starting to get dark, and the hot glass is like glowing in the twilight. It's so freaking cool. Drive to the fair and get it before it's too late. I'm saying it's like 4 more hours of fair left. Yeah, I kind of would too, Sunburn. And this place does offer like classes or, you know, introductions to glass blowing. You're gonna see Moon. If you stick around, you're gonna see. I didn't get the best video this year. I mean, my camera has a little bit of trouble in the dark. My camera's getting a little elderly, but I got some cool video to show you guys. But this I thought was really cool because the guy was describing, he said, if you go in the shop, you'll see, like they have somebody blowing the glass and then somebody like on the microphone answering questions and just explaining stuff. They said, depending on how you heat the glass, if you heat it a certain way, the metals and minerals in the glass rise to the surface, and that's how they get this metallic finish. So it's all just to be done with how and when it's heated, and it's just so cool. And like, I want to do something like that on my nails. Who knows if it'll ever happen, but like when people ask me, where do you get your inspiration? Shit like this. How can you not look at this and be like, put that right on like that? We've still got the end of summer neon, by the way, except on my thumb. My patch failed again, and I just decided to cut the nail off, so my thumb is really short and stubby right now. Makes me a little bit sad. These jellyfish, you guys, check this out. I thought these were adorable. I don't know what they're supposed to be, paperweights, I guess, or something. But I thought that was so cool. Does that not look like freaking water marbling? And I love the frosted like matte finish too. It just completely struck me as water marbling. And I don't know, it's like a pumpkin or something. These are more like eggplants or gourds. They actually did have some purple eggplants like this with the frosted outside. These bracelets. This one right here, this goldeny one that you can see is like dichroic duochrome glass. Well, that's a little bit too close, isn't it? This one. I almost bought that one, but then I couldn't decide. I was also looking at this one, and then I was also looking at, was it this one or this one here? They were on the spendy side, like I think all these. Is that a little price tag there? Can I? Yeah, so these were like $48, which, I mean, that's like a good chunk of change. On the one hand, you're supporting the artist. On the other hand, like, a thing that I had to consider is I very rarely wear jewelry. So this would literally just be like for the beauty and the art of it and to support the artist. And I went back and looked my second time too, and I just could not decide enough to... Like, if they'd been cheaper, like if they'd been $20-$30, sure, maybe I'd have just picked one and gone with it. But for $50, I felt like I had to really be, like, positive that this was the one that I liked best. And I just couldn't come to that conclusion. I mean, so many of them are pretty. They're beautiful, and some of them it's easier to see than others. I think this other picture actually... like showed better how some of these look pink and some of these look orange, or like this one, how this one looks yellow, but this one above it looks more green. Like the glass was like a duochrome nail polish, like at different angles it was showing like different personalities. Really pretty stuff, really cool, but just expensive enough not to be like a casual purchase. When I was a kid, I always wanted to get a souvenir from the fair. There used to be this place in the bazaar called Crystal Wizards, and they had like, you know, those pewter figurines where the wizard's like, oh, and they've got like a staff, and then the staff is like a cool jewel or a gem or something, and then they have like pendants of dragons or cool stuff like that. And I would almost always get my souvenir from there, and I would get like a little necklace or a pair of earrings or stuff. But like nowadays, for me to have on something other than my Fitbit is so rare. I just couldn't justify it. Yeah, dollar. I still need to place that dollar nail art order. I was thinking the other day, I was like, oh, I could do this with foils. I was like, you idiot, you haven't purchased any new foil glue yet. It's on my to-do list. Oh, and this little white Christmas tree, which is all hung. Let's get in here and look at some of these. With these blown glass ornaments, like these speckly ones. We've got swirly ones. Like, just so many. Look, I mean, look at this. But again, like, these are spendy. Can I see the price tag on any of these? I really can't. I'm pretty sure they were at least as much as the bracelets. Maybe not, but they were not cheap. It wasn't like $5 or $10. Like, for that, sure, maybe I'd get one. But gosh, now it's got me thinking, shit, especially this year, Clark will have never seen a Christmas tree before. That may be an issue. I guess we'll see in a couple months. Yeah. Yeah. Beanie is usually okay, but every now and then he'll like find one that just sparkles in the right way, or it dangles in the right way, or it's at the right level of the Christmas tree, and he'll start messing with it. And a few years ago, well, it must have been Dude. I was gonna say, I don't remember if it was Dude or Blake, but Blake was an Airedale, so he only had a little stub tail. We lost several ornaments to Dude's tail. Like, not intentional by him, but he was standing by the Christmas tree and got to wagging and pshing, and then ting, and then, you know, and then one we thought was glass bounced, and oh, we've been being super careful with this shit for years, and it turns out it's plastic. Oh, and hi, Caters, by the way. Thank you for joining us. We are, yeah, 20s. Did you see one that you could read, Moon? I mean, and $20 is not, like, if you look at it, it's not just like I'm buying a single ornament. You're supporting an artist and a nonprofit. You know, isn't so bad, but it again, like, to just pick one for that price would be a challenge. But I love looking around in there. It's so cool. Isn't he adorable? He's an adorable boy. And you can see, well, I can see his little fangs poking out. Like, his fangs literally don't even fit in his mouth. So I think we're getting close. Okay. This is the start of day 2 at the fair. And I need a potty break. So let me, no, actually, no, I don't want to touch that because I have that ready for movies later. I was gonna play you some music, but that would want to go in Windows Movie Player or Media Player, and that's all set up for the videos at the end. I don't want to mess with it. So I'm sorry, you guys. You'll have to sit here in the quiet for a moment. I will try to make this a very quick, brief potty and ice break. I should put up my BRB though. It is 7:57. I will endeavor to be back by 7:02. I'm just giving myself 5 minutes, you guys. Why aren't you there? There you go. I will be right back, and we will go for day 2 of the Great Minnesota Get Together. I put the wrong time. I thought about it while I was downstairs. I was like, 7:57 plus 5 minutes is not 7:02. That would be 8:02. But I guess that's pretty minor. And hey, I actually did make it back on time. Beanie did not return with me because he was waylaid by his brother, Clark. Just don't tell anyone what time zone I'm in. That would work. Except I said 7:57 out loud, I think. Oh, thank you, Moon Bandit. And thank you, everybody, for hanging out. This has been so much fun. It's going a lot longer than I thought, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I wasn't sure what to expect. I guess I wasn't sure of my own storytelling capabilities. I wasn't sure how much people would, like, care. Wasn't sure anybody would show up, like, slideshow, pictures, state fair. Cares about that shit. So, on Thursday, when I went back, anybody that wasn't here, it was, where'd we go here? 40,000-ish? Yeah, like 45. No, wait. No, okay. Wrong day. So, Monday was 124,000. Thursday was 156,000 people at the fair. So, a good chunk more people. And like I said, there's people coming and going all day. But this is... So, like this picture here, the gardens that I showed at the very beginning are behind this picture. And these little gondolas you see here, this is the sky ride. So there's a couple different ways to get around the fair if you don't want to just be walking. And the sky ride goes across the fair from east to west. The, what is the other thing called? The other chair ride goes kind of from north to south. And there's also a trolley that goes around portions of the fairground. If you need additional help, of course, there's like a little motorized beep beep to rent if you don't have your own. Amethyst Kitty, hello. Yes, we are recapping the state fair. We are about halfway through. We just finished up my first day and I took a break, and now we are starting my second day. So my first day, which was the Monday, went with family. My second day, which was Thursday, I actually went by myself. And some people might be like, like when I ran into my brother, he was like, who are you here with? I'm like, nobody. He's like, going to the fair by myself, I find pretty fun. This is not the first time I've done it. And the nice thing is, like, when you're in a group, you need to, like, kind of keep an eye on the whole group. You don't want to get separated. Yes, you can meet up or whatever, but especially when, so like me and my cousin had cell phones. My mom and my aunt do not have cell phones. If they get lost, we're down to, okay, let's meet at the fish pond. So the whole time we're like, you know, trying very hard. This is where we're meeting, okay? Or don't get lost. When you're by yourself, you can just wander at will. And it, 30 years, oh my gosh. I've only missed one state fair in the last 30 years. I love the state fair so much. And like when you're in a group, you're looking for somewhere to sit down, you need like a whole bench. You're by yourself, all you need is a corner. Come up and be like, oh hi, can I sit here? Plunk. Everything is pretty much easier, except there's nobody to share the food with. So I did actually have quite a bit of leftovers that I stashed in my bag from this day. And it was funny because I'd be like eating, and then I'd be like, okay. And then I'd, you know, get out my little bag and people would be so envious. They're like, oh, what a good idea. We need to bring some Ziploc bags. Or, oh man, I forgot my bags. Yeah, you can go at your own pace. You don't have to worry about anybody else. And for me, it's kind of nice because, like, you don't have to talk to anybody, but you can talk to people. And everybody at the fair is pretty much in a good mood. With a few exceptions. I mean, we saw one lady on the first day. I think she might have broken her ankle or something, getting loaded up into an ambulance. I imagine that would suck and ruin your day at the fair. But otherwise, most people, I mean, it's I want to say it's the happiest place on earth because I think that's probably trademarked. But I mean, it's second favorite day only to Cookie Day for me. I love the fair. And you know, I've always loved the fair, so it's very traditional. So we came in, and I think you can already tell it's like a more crowded day. I started off again with the blueberry basil lemonade. You can see we have a different manicure. We had a I don't have the bottle handy. That Color Club blue from the Halo Chrome collection, and that showed up quite well in a lot of the pictures. Goes prettily with the purple lemonade. And my selection from the Blue Barn this time was the Iron Range pierogies. And a couple streams ago, we were talking about pierogies. I was curious. I should have asked them how these pierogies are cooked. I don't think they're pan fried. They don't look quite hard enough or greasy enough to be deep fried. I don't really see any ovens in that place, so I don't know if they were baked, but they're very good pierogies. This is like kind of a horseradishy sauce, but it's not like overpoweringly horseradish. Yes, Moon Bandit, the things. These are the basically like a potato ravioli. It's kind of a pasta-ish exterior, and inside is potatoes, and I don't know, whatever kind of spices or whatever these have on them. These are good. Would recommend. I've had them before. This place has a lot of good stuff. Also some adult stuff. If I'd been in the mood to drink, and if I hadn't heard somebody say that it tasted like malt liquor, they had like a kind of like a strawberry-ish adult alcoholic smoothie. Not wine, but something else. And I mean, there's beer all over the place. Without my dad with, didn't really get too many shots of that, but it's, you know, you look everywhere and you see corn dogs, you also look everywhere and see beer. There's beer all over the place. Then after I ate some of those, I had some of these. We got the deep fried ravioli, and I was a little bit disappointed that they didn't have like any fair special flavors. Last year or the year before, I'm pretty sure they had a spinach artichoke ravioli that was really good. Yay for beer. I'm not a beer. I mean, I sometimes wish that I did like beer because it seems like there's so many different kinds of beer, but I don't. I think it's like the hops flavor, or like the phosphites, whatever a phosphite even is. It just like has kind of a bitter taste that I can't get over. And the reason I say maybe the phosphites is because my aunt got me this sampler for my birthday. It was like a 4-pack, and it had 4 different, some of them were hard ciders, and one was like a mead. And the ingredients were honey, water, and phosphites. And here, I'm sitting here thinking like, I'm just about to be drinking me some alcoholic honey. It's gonna be delicious. And I cracked it open, and I was like, it's that taste that I get from beer sometimes. And apparently, hops have phosphites in them. So it's not specifically or only the hops that I dislike, it's the phosphite part of the hops. I was very sad and disappointed about that. But, yeah, these are cheese ravioli. They also had cheese and jalapeno and beef and something else. So I ate some of those. Then I wandered over to like the corn stand. I remember when the corn stand first like came to the fair, and it was like such a hit. It's just a basic thing. It's roasted corn, and they take this roasted ear corn and they dip the whole damn thing in a vat of melted butter, and then you can salt or pepper it to your taste. And it's an interesting thing. Usually we send my dad to go get the corn. I was by myself. Exactly, corn and butter. So I had to get up there, and they like give you a ticket, and then you go to the ticket and you go to the pickup place, and the employees are just standing there, and they're holding the corn, and they're like rotating the corn so that you can pick your level of roastedness. Like some of them are like burnt, in my opinion, but some people really like those ones. If they're like super dark, I've even seen them, they're like, look, this is like a 2 for 1 right here. They're so dark and crispy. You can see mine just has little slight goldeny roastedness. And Moon Bandit. Okay, is it elote or elote? That was new at the fair this year, and my mom wanted to try it, and she didn't. I was kind of like, I don't know about that. I saw somebody eating it. I've never had it myself, but they did have it at the fair. Yeah, a fruity something other is exactly what I would want, Momo. I don't know if you were here. The one thing I had to drink at the fair both times was the little, I don't even know what to call it. It's like miniature little cup, like not even a shot glass of wine smoothie sample. That was the extent of my drinking. The second pronunciation. Yeah, isn't it? It's the corn covered in what is it, sour cream and cheese and pepper or something? I don't know, but it was new at the fair this year. It got very good reviews. I was just kind of like, I don't know. But so I get the corn, and they give you this one little napkin wrapped around it, and the shit's hot as hell. And they have these big, like, dumpsters and bins. It's like, recycle your corn cob here. I mean, there's trash cans and recycling things all over the place, but specifically around the corn, they have recycling receptacles. So I wanted to eat my corn close to the stand. So I'm looking around for a spot, and I wander over by the grandstand, around the back, in the shade, find a space on this bench, sit down, taking my picture of my corn. And I look to the side, and it's my old boss, you guys. I'm like, Steve! And he turns and looks at me, he's like, Colette! And it was kind of weird, but, I mean, it was okay. I didn't get, like, too deep with him or anything. It was a little bit weird. Mayo. See that? See, now I wonder if I'm misremembering or if the elote at the Minnesota State Fair is, in fact, not authentic. I'm gonna be like, look, my friend Moonbanda said it's supposed to be mayo. A cup version for those who don't like to get messy. I could see that because really, it's hard to keep toppings on corn. I think they serve the elote in like a little, like one of those little boats, you know, not just like loose like this one. But yeah, so I see my old boss sitting there, and we chatted for a minute, just kept it light. He asked how I was doing. I said, you know, I'm doing pretty good. Some ups and downs, but, you know, pretty good. And I asked him how he was doing, and his wife was there too, who I'd met her before. She's a real nice lady. I couldn't remember her name, and I didn't ask, I'll admit. Steve's wife. I mean, shit, I haven't seen him in 3.5 years and her in longer than that, so it wasn't like vital information. And he said that he was, you know, working toward retirement. He was just working like 3 days a week now, and had a nice little chat for 5 minutes. I should have taken a picture. He and his wife were eating something that I saw get very mixed reviews. I forget what the actual name of it was. The Star Tribune, which is the local paper, has a guy that goes on the first day of the fair. He tries all the new foods, and he tried this thing, and he didn't give it very high reviews. He described it as a sugar taco. Take cotton candy, line it with Fruity Pebbles, add in 3 scoops of ice cream, and roll it up like a burrito. Like, all those things separately sound fine to me, but I don't know that I really want to eat that all together. And shit, I love some sugar, but that's a damn lot of sugar right there. Yeah. You're making a sicky face. Yeah, I should, in fact, okay. This will take 2 seconds. I wonder if I can find this. This one. Is this the right article? Gotta get Nerf gun revenge on your son and husband. Best BRB reason ever, Amethyst. No, I don't. What? Don't give me ads. Stop. Close. Go away. Yeah. Oh, there's a little video too. I should watch the video. And the thumbnail for the video is this cotton candy shit that I'm talking about that my boss was eating with his wife. Oh, that did spike up my CPU usage a little bit and the memory. It's okay though. I still haven't dropped any frames. Everything is still green. So I'm gonna just drop this link in here in chat for you guys. We're going to Sunburn's Kitchen to get stuff ready for work tomorrow. If you're interested in looking, that's the Star Tribune article where he ranks, and I believe there's pictures. There should be pictures. Yeah, of everything that was new this year at the fair. So this is just new stuff. And at the very top of it, there's a video, and at least for me, that should be the same for everybody, right? I feel dumb that I don't know that. Well, it's not like a normal YouTube thumbnail. It looks like it's just a still section of the video. I feel like it could be randomly selected for everybody for some reason. But at the top of that page is a picture of this cotton candy thing if you want to see what it looks like. As a kid, I bet I would have been like, oh, please, let's go up here and get this. As a kid, I could get pretty much whatever I wanted at the fair with my own money. And my grandpa used to make sure that I had my own money. When it got to be fair time and we would go over there and he would be like, come here. You know, he would act like it was a secret or something, even though, and I mean, I tried never to like expect it even as a kid. I knew that wasn't like cool to be like, where's my money, Grandpa? But, you know, he would slip me like, you know, 60 or 80 bucks, which as a kid was like, whoa. But at the fair, I mean, it actually is pretty easy to go through that much money, especially when as a kid I was trying to buy, like I said, a little piece of jewelry or a little something as a souvenir. And yeah, Beanie came back. He must have avoided his brother. You all full of puppy spit? Yeah? Yeah, say puppy spit. It's even better than hair gel. Clark does this thing where he's not like trying to bite him or attack him, but he mouths at him like, and he gets his fur all full of puppy spit. Beanie will come and he'll be like, you know, the back of his neck and his sides just like spiked out with this, because Clark's spit is viscous. Like, Clark's spit is some powerful shit. Yeah, he's such a good boy. I love that he hangs out most of the time. Well, most of the time in the evening at least. Why though? Waterinu, like, what is he trying to do? Our old dog dude never did that to him. But I mean, he was a full-grown, not quite an old man, but a full-grown dog when we got Beanie. And prior to that, I mean, I'm sure Frisky would not have put up with any of that shit from him. Like, Frisky laid down the law immediately when we got dude. Yeah, so then back to my story, which we like had 2 or 3 stories in the middle of. They decided where else to go, and they went on their way, and I sat there and finished my corn. And then, oh, I took this picture as a comparison because I thought I had taken a picture on the previous trip when my aunt and my cousin rode the giant slide. This is the giant slide. I mean, such a creative name, I know. This is iconic. This has been there since before I was a kid. And as a kid, I would go up there. I had my, like, I feel silly calling it a fear of heights because I'm not, like, scared of heights. I have a physical, like, fear reaction to heights. Like, if I step 2 steps up a step stool, like, my stomach literally feels like it's dropping. Or like a steep stairway, or, you know, a balcony on a second floor, I'm not about it. So I don't do the giant slide anymore. But like when my aunt and my cousin was there, like this staircase is so packed out right here. I mean, look at all these people. It was not like that the other day. There were like less than half that many people on the slide when they went down. I think I might have a video of this too. Here is the actual fish pond is over here where all the people are. This is just like a nature pond with ducks. Ducks. Nature in the middle of the fair. Usually a lot of summers it's a lot greener too, like surfaced covered in algae. So, oh, that's a better picture of the ducks. Ha. The playing, and they spar with other dogs doing the same thing. Yeah. See, so that kind of goes with what I was thinking, Waterinu, is that Clark is trying to treat Beanie like Beanie's another puppy. Because, like, when we first got Clark, he actually was in the Humane Society kennel with one of the other puppies from his litter with his brother, and there were a couple other puppies that had all been found at the same time. So, yeah, and sometimes Beanie's okay with it. I mean, sometimes Clark will even, like, kind of come down on top of him, like, go down on his elbows, and, like, Beanie's in the middle and underneath him, and sometimes Beanie will just sit there kind of like, oh, this is okay. But when Beanie's done, or when Clark gets too rough, Beanie's done, and Clark has not quite got the, okay, time to leave the kitty alone before he scratches out my little doggy eyeballs. And sometimes it's exhausting, but I continue to hope they'll grow out of it soon, because, like, Beanie will scratch at him, and I mean, I'm already giving Beanie medicine in his eye. I don't think his eye injury is from Clark. I think it's more likely from him climbing into bushes outside head first. But Beanie could easily injure Clark's eyeball, and I really would prefer not to have to give both animals eye medication or bite them. Like, Beanie will bat at him, and then he'll, like... And a couple times I've seen him, like, dude, you're biting his eyelid and, like, pulling his little loose skin. It's like, okay, stop, break, get away from each other. And Clark just cannot... take a hint. Okay. Nails. It was so sunny and nice. I think I did the next day take a polish and motion of these. Lord knows if it'll ever get uploaded. But here's a look at this gorgeous baby in the sun. Just to have our obligatory nails. Yeah, when we got him, he was the same. Well, he was a couple pounds heavier than Beanie. Beanie is 14 pounds. He's a pretty big boy. And when we first got Clark, he was 16. But Clark is now, I think, 47 pounds. So we don't know how big he's going to get, because we don't know what his exact breed is. Our vet, it's kind of a running joke. Our vet at first was like, oh, he's not even going to be 30 pounds if he's this weight and we're guesstimating this age. But he's continued to grow, and like I said, he's not trying to attack Beanie, but I just feel like either one of them could very easily hurt the other, because Clark's a puppy and he doesn't know any better, and but other times, like last night when I was cooking dinner, Clark was laying on the porch, and a lot of times his thing is he sees Beanie and he immediately hops up and wants to chase him or, like, push him down and sniff all over him. And he just politely laid on the porch, and Beanie walked, like, back and forth in front of him, and he just stayed there. And I was like, oh, such good boys. Like, please just fucking let it be like this now. But today they're back to their usual antics. And Beanie is an instigator. Like, I'll stop Clark from chasing him, and then Beanie will, like, stop and come back, like, what are you doing, Mom? You're interrupting. Like, I was intentionally fucking with him. So here's another crowd shot. This right here, this is the all you could drink milk little barn. Over here, this is the Miracle of Birth barn, which I don't go to the fair to see animals born. I mean, I'll maybe check out a handful of animals here and there. We walked through the horse barn on the first day, but generally speaking, I'm at the fair for the people watching and the food and just other experiences. Look at Moon Bandit. It's not like that. It's just a challenge. And, I mean, eventually he'll grow out of it. I think Beanie, too, sometimes it catches him off guard because he got so used to Dude. And they were just animal brothers. They would walk side by side, in and outside. And we considered that a blessing at the time, because Dude was an aggressive dog. He didn't much care for, like, I mean, when he would see the neighbor's cats in the window, or, loose cats around the neighborhood, or squirrels or other small animals, he would react very aggressively. He always respected Frisky, because when we got him, I mean, as small as Frisky was, I mean, like 7 pounds, when we got Dude, he was smaller, and Frisky laid down the law. And unlike Clark, Dude obeyed that, and he always was kind of submissive. And when we got Beanie, we were like, man, how are we gonna handle this? Is dude gonna like accept this new cat? Like, how is this gonna happen? And we like did all this planning and all this stuff. And when they finally like met face to face, it was like such a non-event. They like pretty much instantly got along. So just got to get through the puppy phase with Clark. And I'm sure they love each other. It's sweet sometimes. Sometimes I call it nose time, when they just like touch noses and sniff at each other, and I'm always like, oh, just always do that. Your dog wants to poke your cat with her nose. Cat gets irritating and makes a beeline for the garage. Yeah, well, and that's the other good thing, Amethyst, is that so far Clark has not. He's made it almost up to the second floor. He'll go up the stairs upstairs. They go up, and then they like curve around, and then the hallway is like back the opposite way, and there's like a railing there. He'll get to almost the very top. He'll get to where the stairs start to turn, and he'll stop and he'll sit there, and he'll look through the railing at his brother. But right now he doesn't come upstairs or go down in the basement, so both of those are safe areas for Beanie to hang out when he wants to get away and have some peace. And of course, like up here, he knows that this is his room and he's safe in here. Cat versus Dog Animal Planet show. I feel like I've heard of that, but I haven't seen it. What else was I going to point out here? I don't remember. Oh, well, maybe we're kind of like on the far side, like the southern side of the fair from where the buses let off now. Over here, like behind the Miracle of Birth, there's a path going out to where the buses used to drop off. So it was kind of interesting. For many, many years, we got used to entering the fair here, and when they changed the transit hub, we started coming in at the other end. And you kind of have to plan out your trip so you're not doing too much back and forth walking. I did do a crap load of walking. On Monday, my Fitbit was at over 12,000 steps, and on Thursday, my Fitbit was over 15,000 steps. You're happy you got to be there for your kitten's birth, but not something you want to make a habit of. Yeah, if it was my animals, yeah, but like, and I don't want to say it's completely like for entertainment purposes. I mean, it's intended to be for educational purposes, but I feel like I know enough about how animals give birth without witnessing it. Yeah, and a high ground. Yeah, I mean, Beanie's allowed on the tables and stuff. Some people might be like, "Oh my God, cat's on the table." Sorry, he is. Beanie rules the house, and so yeah, he'll get up there, and then the puppy just looks like, "Oh, what are you doing up there?" It's like, I don't think Clark quite understands that Beanie is a kitty and not a puppy. Yeah. And he has some windowsills where he likes to go too. And outside, Clark is not allowed in the garden and Beanie is allowed in the garden. So when Beanie goes outside, Clark will be like trying to chase him, and then Beanie will just go in the garden, and then Clark will just stop like, "Oh, brother," and Beanie will just sit there like, haha. Yeah, Sunburnt. Luckily, for whatever reason, I didn't consciously train him against it. Beanie stays off of the desk, which, I mean, given how much crap I have up here and nail polish and, all that stuff is pretty good. And he stays off the kitchen counters. Like, he's not just completely allowed free range. But the dining room table, which doesn't really see much dining, to be honest, he's allowed up there. And even just like the back of the couch, because we're trying to keep Clark off the furniture. He hasn't quite learned that lesson yet, but backs of couches, backs of chairs and stuff. The battle at bedtime, parents versus 4-year-old. Oh no, man, good luck, Amethyst. You may need it. On top of the fridge. Yeah, Frisky used to go up on top of the fridge, but Bean never has. Okay, more pictures. Okay, this, I have another link prepared for those that may be curious, because I decided that Although I did take a couple videos to be on the good side of copyright, since this probably will get on YouTube eventually. I was not going to play any of my clips with music. So this group here is called Ecuador Monta. I'm going to drop their YouTube channel in the chat if you want to hear their music. They are like a South American, like, pipes, and their music is really cool, uplifting, happy, and they always, there's a little, this is the outdoor, well, the sign says the DNR outdoor stage, so it's quite close to the fish pond, and I always take a little bit of video and stuff because my grandma loves these guys. And this little kid here, he's funny because he has been up there on stage with them at the fair like since he was probably looking like 2 years old, and now he like actually is not just pretending, he's like actually up there jamming with the band. And they are at the fair every year, usually at this stage, sometimes they're at other stages, and they perform at other events during the year. And it's one of the things that's so funny and so sweet is these people that show up to dance. And like this dude, we see him every year. These people, this lady with the heels and this dude here, they go to the fair every year. They were actually in the paper today. And Ecuador Monta gets to jam it, and these people get out on the dance floor. And some of them, I mean, like this dude here, he doesn't have a lot of dance moves. It's kind of like a stomp, 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 stomp. But I mean, he's out there having a good time, and it just, you can't help but smile. These couple people, I feel like we see them often too, and they actually be out there kind of busting a few dance moves, doing some little spinning around and stuff. It's really kind of cute. And sometimes in the evening, little kids will get out there. You get some, 2, 3, 4-year-olds out there dancing to this music, and it is really a most adorable thing. I would recommend checking out their YouTube channel and just giving their music a listen, because it's instrumental. Maybe there's a little bit of singing in there sometimes. I don't know how to describe it or classify it, unless you've seen the South Park episode about the South American pan flute bands. That's actually, I don't want to say accurate, but I mean, the music is pretty accurate. This is a thing of chicken, I think it's Chan's chicken. This is something, like, sometimes you look at the fair and things that look old or things that look authentic, you're like, oh, it's real fair food or whatever. And for the longest time I saw this place, I was like, man, you're not real fair food. And you have egg rolls and it's just like some Chinese food, and who comes to the fair to have Chinese food? But this chicken on a stick is so freaking delicious. I love it. I've gotten it. Oh, look at the puppies. I love it. It looks like they're dancing. I don't know if they're intended to look like they're dancing, but they look like they're jamming. So, got me just a piece of chicken. It's like a kind of a teriyaki-ish sauce. This is one of the other stages that I just happened to pass by and take a picture. There's easily over a dozen stages at the fair. And some of them are just like, well, who the hell is this playing? Or, they got some weird kind of competition, or it's maybe somebody, more like Ecuador Monta that's not like a big name. But then there's also the grandstand, and we do actually get like big people. I think it was last year, the year before, Usher was there. Actual like popular, not just local groups in the bandstand, but so many free stages. You could literally go to the fair and just go from stage to stage all day listening to different types of music. And I mean, the whole thing, really good adaptation to technology, I guess I want to say. There's a state fair app. Their website is usually really up to date, so you can look and see, and you could plan out your whole day. At 2 o'clock, such and such is on this stage, then we can go over to this stage and watch this band. There's so much like free entertainment, and that's just the music. There's also like, the butter carving, glass blowing, all kinds of animal stuff, like horses or sheep. So many different things. Here we have a cider freeze. It's the delicious apple cider like you saw in cup version on day one, except it's frozen like a freezy pop. And this is another one of the super cheapest thing at the fair, $1.50. And I mean, it's a hefty, You know, it's not a skinny Freezy Pop. It's a hefty sized Freezy Pop. That was, I was hot and thirsty, so I got one of those. Then, in the horticulture building, they have a couple... So it's a pretty big building, and it's actually shaped like an octagon. So it's got hallways north, south, east, west, and to the midpoint cardinal directions also. And they all have like different themes or different stuff displayed. Where they sell the cider in there, they also have, that's by the hallway, where it talks about all the apples and all the different new varieties and stuff like that. You forgot the English word for this the other day. Are you talking about the Freezy Pop? Moon Bandit? Freezy Pop. I mean, you could call it a popsicle, but really a popsicle should be on a stick, right? And the seed art is in one of the hallways. They have one that's like, they can get flights of beer and wine. There's one with like evergreens. There's one with like, you know, the largest pumpkin, zucchini, tomato, whatever, large thing you can grow. Hi. Sometimes I forget that the camera's here and I'm like... And usually 2 halls are flowers, and they switch out every couple days. I think on Monday, when I didn't get in there, they had the orchids, which would have been really cool. And this time, I forget exactly. I should have taken a picture of the sign. I think it was just like the Floral Association. And they had some really like cool, unique little arrangements. Like artistically unique. And so I took a picture of a handful of those. One with flash, one without. I could have taken out one of those, I suppose. Some beautiful gladiolus. Is that what those are called? Yeah, I think so. Like just a rainbow of colors. These beautiful, like... Are these roses or peonies? Like, these look like peonies. These look kind of like a rose, though. I think they are peonies. I should have caught... There must have been a sign saying what kind of flowers. This cool thing... I mean, I don't know what you would do with something like this, but look at that. Look how adorable it is with the little succulents in there and all the little flowers. Yeah, they're so pretty. This little thing, I mean, it was, you know, designed to look like a chocolate box. This cool thing with these cool looking flowers. And then I think we go to the next room here. Nope, this is in between the rooms. I don't know if this like went with something. It's like a collage of plates. Like weird, homey plates with funny patterns on them and stuff like that. This was in between the 2 flower rooms. And then we come in here and we have some more displays, but we also have just like some beautiful... I mean, look how perfect that rose is. It's like perfect. I don't know what this stuff is, but it fascinates me every time I see it because it looks kind of like a brain. I mean, the little things are like... They're like wiggly and they're all... Like, it doesn't have petals like you would normally think of on a flower. And then we have these... Shit, what are these called? Not zinnias. I'm having a brain fart. But look how cool this is. Like, each little petal is lined in the color. And these are so big. I have... Is it the next one? No, this is the next one to it. Oh, and look at that one. Like, the top and the bottom of the petal are 2 different colors and create that really cool... The vases were beer bottles? I didn't even notice that. Oh, back there. Or were you talking about a different one? These ones. How did I see? Noticing stuff in pictures that I didn't even notice. This one. I don't know this lady. Don't mind this lady. This is strictly to show you that some of these flowers are almost as big as people's head. Like, that's a large, like, really big flower. This is in the center of the horticulture building where they usually have some sort of theme, and a lot of the displays I actually was not super impressed with, but I liked how they had this stuff coming down from the center all draped and kind of like sunrisey type of colors, gold and orange. And oh, the bees and honey section, where you can get samples of honey if you just, I mean, you could just sit there and be like, Let me get a sample of that peach honey. Let me get a sample of that blackberry honey. Let me get a sample of that amaretto honey. Just sit there and eat honey samples all day. Thank you, Sparkly. I took this one because I just liked like the gradient from the pale honey to the dark honey. And right here on the side you can see I almost could have taken like a separate picture or a video, but I didn't. They had there's bees in there, like actual working bees in a section of hive of honeycomb, and they're, you know, going around in there and they're teaching people about bees and about how important our pollinators are. And, you know, a lot of them are endangered now. There's a lot of different species of bees and, you know, species that we're in danger of losing. And hello, people need bees. This is how food gets made. People that like spray their plants, there's stuff that can kill bees. There are some certain plants that are actually like what do you call it, bred with like stuff in them. The plant itself has a pesticide that is harmful to bees. So bees going about their business and harvest from these plants that have these bad chemicals in them, and it can be detrimental to the bee or to the whole hive. And guess what? We don't get any bees, we're gonna be shit out of luck as far as like a lot of different foods. I mean, bees aren't just for honey, people. Well, most of my viewers I think are pretty smart. I don't need to tell you this, but I think a lot of people just don't think about it. They're like, oh my god, bees. Bees don't want to sting you. Bees don't want to fuck with you. Wasps are assholes, but bees are your friend. Lecture over. Here is another series, and here we're you can see the sky ride again. So way over here is the grandstand. Way past here in the distance is where we came into the fair. And then the sky ride goes over this way a little bit more. And there's the other end of it. The food building's right over here too. And I just took 2 or 3, like right here, or maybe right here is where we were sitting eating our cheese curds the other day. And then, oh hey, look. It is showing in this picture. It's the orange treat with the 2 E's. Yes, African honeybees, man. They are some shit. I mean, that gets me on a whole other thing of like invasive species, and not even just invasive species, but as the different, you know, as the climate changes and you start getting bugs, you're like, where the hell is this bug? I thought this bug belonged much farther south. We never had these up here before. Well, guess what? Now you do. Oh, hey, you can kind of see the cheese curd stand in there too. Cheese curds. But yeah, I mean, like bugs and ecosystem and all that, I mean, it matters. I don't want to go too far into lecture mode. I feel like I already kind of went off on a tangent, but you know, you gotta be aware of it, and at least like, you know, of course you as one person, there's limited you can do, but I'm always pleased, like in our backyard, it's a variety of plants. We always have a bunch of bees around. We have butterflies right in my backyard. Like I said, we've had caterpillars on our butterfly weed, as opposed to people that are just, I mean, unless you are literally allergic to bees to where your life is in danger, like just leave the bees alone. You don't need to worry about them. Oh no, you're fine, Watarinu. I literally have to concentrate so hard every time I say your name. I'm sorry, but I think I've mostly been pronouncing it correctly today. So the food building is like all food inside. They even have some tables in there. I don't know who would choose to eat inside that hot place when you could come and eat outside. I did go in there and get, these are really kind of funny shaped, but they're deep fried scallops. And it's a kind of a weird thing to get at the fair, and the fries that they come with are some of the most bogus fries, but they're like freshly fried up and they were really delicious. Just say water. All right, I'll try. I probably will forget. Maybe if I say it enough, I will remember. You're from Minnesota but live in Texas. Hello, Brian. Thank you for joining us. I can give you some memories of the fair here. I went twice this year, which is usually my average. You miss living in Minnesota. Aw. Do you think you might ever move back up here? I mean, you must like Texas at least a little bit to have moved down there. I have a couple friends that live in Texas. You want some of the deep fried scallops, Amethyst? They were really good. The fries are not the best fries. Like, why? Can I just like get a discount and like not get any fries? Like Texas better. Don't miss the winters, I'm assuming. This picture, okay, so I said at the beginning I wasn't going to talk about people, but this picture illustrates one of the funnest things, and I kind of put it in quotes, except it is fun. Like, look at the variety of footwear that you see in this picture. Number one, why? Why would you wear heels to the fair? Why? Number two, why? Why would you wear flip-flops that are this flat and flimsy with no support? Why? Those look like a little sturdier of a sandal. Sneakers, can't go wrong with sneakers. Crocs, apparently Crocs are pretty good. I don't have any Crocs myself, but I was just sitting there eating my scallops. I was like, this is kind of a good opportunity. I can get these dumb shoes. I can also get some sensible shoes. I can get a wide variety, and not just shoes, but like clothing in general. It's interesting. Yeah. I didn't see anything too scandalous this year, but a couple years, you know, you'll just be like either out of like shock or just out of like, no, just out of shock. Like, number one, like, how did you leave the house looking like that? Or number two, why did you leave the house looking like that? Like, it's the fair. I'll confess, I don't go to the fair looking cute at all. Some years, I don't even bother to put on my eyebrows if I know that it's too sweaty. I mean, I have eyebrows, but you know, my nice eyebrows. People love to suffer. Are you referring to how hot it is in Texas, Moon Bandit? Or are you referring to Minnesota winters? Or are you referring to people wearing heels at the state fair? One lady, I just like winced and cringed and like, she had on some sandals that looked okay, but looked like they didn't really fit her very well, but she was kind of limping. And then I looked closer and like her whole big toenail was like, it wasn't pulled off, but it was bloody. And I was like, and I mean, she didn't look like she was leaving. Like, if some shit like that happened to me, I would just be like, oh no, I'm sorry. The fair is over for me this year. And she was just limping along, pushing the baby carriage and, yeah, sucking it up. Yes, also that Amethyst Kitty. Like, please tell your family members and or friends. Sometimes it's obvious. It's like, oh, y'all are kids. You only just got here at 9 o'clock. You're going to go in the midway and meet your friends from school or whatever. And you're here trying to look cute and impress people. But for the most part, like, you're going to be walking long distances in areas where animals are crapping and areas where it's very easy to trip and fall. Like, some of the areas, I'm surprised year after year that they haven't been like repaved. Like, okay, this is really bad. And even me, I'm an experienced fairgoer. I almost had an incident. It was when I got the corn and I was just kind of looking around for a place to sit and I was a little bit confused and it was really crowded and I was up on a curb and didn't realize it and I stepped forward off the curb and just, you know, only a curb height, but like I felt lucky in the moment. I was like, that could have been like a lot worse. I could have sprained my ankle. I could have fucking fell and hit the pavement. And my biggest fear of falling now is falling face first and having my labret pop out my bottom teeth. Like, bam! And just, I mean, it's metal, you know? So if I ever fall, my first thought is going to be, turn your head. But, yeah, I don't understand the people that are like, let me just wear the dumbest shoes ever. Like, I'm trying to wear the most comfortable shoes possible because I know the amount of walking that's involved. Toe socks. That, I guess that would be considered a slightly guilty pleasure water. I have toe socks. I used to be obsessed with toe socks. I used to have probably 24 pairs in different like rainbow combinations. Like, Ooh, this one's purple and white, light purple. This one is pink and blue. And I used to wear them all the time. I've pared down my collection to, I think, like maybe 4. One of them are like Christmas colored toe socks, and I wear them at Christmas. But as long as you're not wearing toe socks with like Birkenstocks, I don't think that's too bad. Yeah, some people like are like, what? How can you possibly stand to have something between your toes? Yeah, Moon. I mean, it's like, on the other hand, it's like, okay, how many times in my life have I ever fallen and landed directly on my face? 0 before or after getting my piercing. But like, it definitely crosses my mind whenever I'm like, whoa, almost fell. I just cringed a little bit. I'm lucky I didn't spit water blacks on. Oh my god. Oh. I've got complete like sympathy shivers. 50 pairs. That's good shit. I think that's cool water. It severed a nerve and now she can't smell. I don't want to laugh. It's kind of funny, but it's also horrifying. Like nobody thinks about that. Like, if you fall, oh my god. At first, I read it as now she can't smile, but not being able to smell, I think, is even worse than not being able to smile. Oh my god. Another thing to be worried about now when I fall. I know until you hear about people that fall and like just like bust off their teeth. Oh no, it was funny. One of those, are you okay? moments. Oh no. You don't even have that many pair of regular socks. I do. I have so many socks. I have to, every time I go to the store, I kind of have to hold myself back from getting socks because new socks are so soft and comfy. It's only something that would happen to her. Is she known as a klutz or just known as being super unlucky? I mean, yeah, because it really would have to be like, who knew that a nerve that makes you smell is located, I mean, it's by your nose, but you would think that the nerves are protected. Oh, 20 regular toe socks and 30 decorative. I have this design. Do you have any pictures of them all spread out, Water? And if so, will you share them in my Discord? Yeah, exactly, Sparkly. They're just new undergarments of any sort. I mean, new clothes in general are nice, but new undergarments in particular. Oh, here we have another corner and another shot of the crowd. I mean, it's just a lot of people. I mean, this is the fair. And moving through the crowd is also easier by yourself than with a group, because you don't have to make sure, like, everybody walks at a different pace. And if you can just adopt like a slightly quicker pace, it's pretty easy to bob and weave in between. Because like, it's a group, it's a lot of people, but like, look, it's a gap here, it's a gap here. It's person-wide gaps all over the place. But when you got like people trailing behind you, and then you become that person that stops in the middle of the road and looks behind them and is waiting for the rest of their group. And that's kind of an asshole move. I try to make sure I'm at least off to the side. Ooh, yay! We might get sock pictures, you guys. And I don't know. Let's see. Where's my... If you find a picture, Water, there's the Discord. Even if you don't, please feel free to join, and anybody else that's new tonight. Although I would be pretty surprised to get too many new people tonight. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like I'm unlikely to be found by too many people in the IRL section, but maybe. I mean, we actually have had a few new people tonight. So maybe I shouldn't be surprised. Brian was new, I think, or maybe Brian has just been lurking before and the fair pictures drew him out of his lurk with memories. So, okay, so from like right here, the food building is behind me, and what is this here? I think this is like some political stuff, and then like a couple blocks like over and up are like the creative arts and the education building, and I went that direction. And then this building back here, I think is the 4-H building. And this pond here, that's how the duck pond looks often. There's this little gazebo back here. There's actually like chairs and stuff set up in there. So, and over here, like right here on the side, you follow this path that twists around into the education building. But in that gazebo is one of the really nice spots to kind of hang out if you need like more than just a quick sit down. If you need like an extended rest, there are a couple really nice, like cute and comfortable places where you can sit down and wait. Oh, yeah. I feel like socks should be cheap, and a lot of times they're not. Amethyst. Walgreens. I think when I was getting my toe socks, I think I was getting them from Kohl's, which is kind of funny because I very rarely. We were expecting you. That's very suitable. I used to go to Kohl's so often, and now I'm like, I can't remember the last time I shopped at Kohl's. Oh wow, Amethyst, thank you for watching for such a long time. And I'm glad that you catch the nail streams on YouTube also, if you're not able to catch lives. And I'm glad you're here now, because you get to see, I mean, I understand, like, if I miss something, I'll definitely, like, watch a video of a live stream. But, and depending on the mood too, but being able to chat, I think, is so much more fun. So I'm glad you were able to make it today. I intend to continue with the Saturday and Sunday streams for sure, but I really, and I say this all the time, I want to do more weekday streams, afternoon and evening and various like weekday days. Just because I know that not everybody has time on the weekends, or a lot of people even work on the weekends and it's not really the weekend for them. About October. So you're almost ready for new socks then, Water. About a month away. This is a little bit further up. This is by the Fine Arts building, and they've got like I said, there's gardens all around, but this picture also shows, and I didn't even really realize at the time, these black things here are misting stations, and on very hot days they are just like sending out a water mist for people to go and stand in and cool down. Excuse me, which is a pretty cool feature, and they're scattered all about the fairgrounds. You've stopped yourself from buying them. But I mean, some have to wear out. You got to get new ones sometimes. And here is a picture of the trolley, which this year is sponsored by Lyft, which I'm not sure how I feel. It's a free little thing. Like I said, it goes around a little section of the fairgrounds. But I was looking at the signs and I was looking at the trolley. I was like, that's new. I mean, I guess it's all good for them. You know, it costs them money, even if it doesn't cost money to ride. It costs money to operate. New Birkenstocks and retire your sad old pair. Oh, man. Birkies, I've never been a huge fan myself, but I know they're good shoes. They used to be the only sandals that my mom could wear. And I know, like, the way the cork works is that, like, the more you wear them, the more they're, like, fit to your feet. So it must be kind of sad to get rid of an old pair that you know is, like, perfectly broken in and have to break in a new pair. Yeah, it's a different food every week. Or sometimes the same food. We'll start on something different and then we'll go back to, ooh, remember when we were talking about this? At least your husband gets pissed, Amethyst. So many guys seem to, like, be kind of dumb about socks and underwear and stuff. It's like, you know you can get replacements for those, right? You don't have to keep wearing that old shit with holes in them. Mr. Rogers. Yeah, you just gotta have the... Oh, I thought for a minute, and I don't even know why, I thought I had a bell that I could ring, like the ding ding. Off to, what was it? Not Imagination Land. That's from South Park again. I forget, but yes, Mr. Rogers trolley. Only wore out 2 pairs since 13 years ago. That's pretty good. They are really, really nice shoes. My mom still has a couple pairs. She's this summer she's really been liking a couple pairs of sandals that she got. They're Crocs sandals. So, but they don't have like the normal like closed toe thing and the thing that goes around the back. They're like slide on flip-flops, but they've got like the Crocs footbed. Hello from Wisconsin. Hello, Wicked Wonder. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so this is like the northern end of the fair. The education building that I was talking about before is like kind of back here around the corner, and this building here, I forget exactly what the building is called, but it's got like environmental stuff and eco-friendly stuff and like displays on wind energy and that type of stuff. The land of make-believe. Yes, Amethyst. I'm sorry, I'm just having like a little reminiscing moment of Mr. Rogers and hearing the little bell on his trolley and what was it, Prince Linus and the cat and the princess, and man, Mr. Rogers was the shit. Yeah, Sparkly also knows. Land of Make-Believe. Goodbye from Georgia. Gonna run Final Fantasy 4. Sorry, had to Roman numeral in my head. Before there's a new Dragon Quest coming out. I had heard about that. Well, enjoy your Final Fantasy Can't Stop the Kittens, and thank you for hanging out. Yeah, he really was. He was a good dude. The mailman, King Friday, Daniel the Tiger. Hell yeah, you guys. Hell yeah, well, it's a funny thing to say. Hell yeah, Mr. Rogers. This is one of the shots, and I think I have a couple other shots. This was last year, the first year. You can see how small the people are. This is a big ass light up Ferris wheel. So the next picture, yeah, so you can see here is pink, here it's yellow. Each of the little spokes, I think it must be LED lights or whatever, so they can change through a rainbow of colors. And I have a couple videos at the end. They don't fully show it to its best advantage because it's something that's it's just kind of hard to fully capture, but it's really cool. This is the Sky Glider. There's a sign. I was gonna say the enclosed ones are the Sky Ride. This one is the Sky Glider. You're rather old. No, I mean maybe, but I mean we're all on the adulter end of the adult spectrum here, except for Moon Bandit. I'm assuming Moon Bandit is probably the baby in chat today also. Moon Bandit is always the youngest one here. Just turned 59. You're younger than my mother, so you're therefore not old. Lammy. Oh, it rings such a bell, Water. I mean, it also brings to mind Lamb Chop, but I'm thinking Lammy was a separate character. He'll always be the baby. Not always, Moon. Eventually we'll get some other young child in here. And it's okay. You're a very mature Moon Bandit. I actually have ridden on this, even with my fear of heights. Because my grandma, even the last couple times she went, she didn't have, fully the energy to walk the whole fair. So this is a quick way to get from one point way north to another point. And so I kind of sucked it up and rode it. It was an experience. I'm sure a lot of people love it. I would not choose to do it again. I would rather walk the several blocks. Game a lot because disabled. Oh, that's unfortunate, but it's good that you have a really good distraction with gaming. Sherry Lewis was so cool. Roly Poly Oli. Or is it Rolly Poly Ollie? Or is it Roly Poly Ollie? Or some combination thereof. The big comfy couch. I've only ever heard of the big comfy couch when people start talking about kid shows they remember. I don't recall ever watching Big Comfy Couch. can walk like a block. But that's better than not being able to walk a block. You know, I always kind of think of that and look around, because like I mentioned before, my grandfather had post polio, and so like when I was younger, he was able to walk. He had a leg brace for his one leg, but in his older years, he was restricted to a wheelchair, even within his own house. So I always kind of have that consideration, or look at accessibility. So I know that just that much, I mean, can be the difference between, you know, being able to get easily into a car, or needing somebody to aid you around, or needing to get a car specially made. Like sometimes you see those ones where it's like, I mean, there's all different levels of like specially hooking up a car, but I'm thinking like the ones where, you know, they have the lifts and they can lift in the wheelchair, and some of them even roll the wheelchair right into the driver's spot, and then you have like the hand controls for the gas and the brake and stuff like that. But I digress a little bit. Ex-wife and I found a recliner that fits me finally, and we can afford. Why are recliners so expensive? I mean, I guess they're furniture generally always seems expensive, but that's good that you found one that fits you. Out of the box. That sounds familiar, but I don't think I watched that one either. Oh, so many. I mean, it's good. I suppose it's good that there were good kid shows after I was a kid. I mean, that's not one of those things, you know, that you want to hold superiority over younger children. It's like, oh yeah, younger kids don't even have any kid shows. Like, kids should have kid shows, actual good kid shows. Okay, strawberry smoothies. Those, actually, do we have a picture here? Yes, we do. So I walked up here kind of purposely to get this. I had a coupon for it. I've had it before. I was disappointed. I feel like it was more delicious and more refreshing in previous years, but it was pretty good. It was just a little sweet. Here is the second pork chop from the I don't want to say not as good place, because people, they also had turkey legs, and people seem to be enjoying the turkey legs. But this pork chop was so damn tough compared to the other pork chop that was so tender and delicious. The one that is a bear owning the house? I feel like I know a Big Blue, but that he was a dog. Maybe the dog lived in the bear's house? I don't know. Friend at your hubby has a vehicle with hand controls because he's paralyzed from the waist down. Yeah, and I mean, if you learned that way, I think it would be one thing. I think if you knew how to drive regularly, to me, I feel like that would be kind of hard to learn. Maybe not. I mean, it would kind of just be like a video game, except it would be in real life. Excuse me. You love turkey legs. Yeah, there's Blue's Clues. Okay. I was close. Blue. But and I never watched that show either. Maybe that's my excuse. That's why I don't know the difference between Blue's Clues and Big Blue's House. Oh my god, the phones can just, well, no, I'm not going to say that. Phones can just do something unpleasant. We'll just say that much. I mean, entertainment value aside, I understand how frustrating it is. When I'm on my phone, I just accept the fact that shit's gonna be ridiculously misspelled. Teletubbies as a teenager and your husband, and you loved I love Amazing World of Gumball too, and I do not think that is a kid's show. It's got too many hidden adult jokes, or not so hidden adult jokes. That's so bogus, wicked. I could go off on that again. Insurance is another one of the things that I could go off on nearly any moment, because shit is so stupid. If you get a prescription, it should cover the whole damn thing. You know, you don't need just the mechanism, you need the whole damn thing. Barney, now we've discussed before that although some people have said my sub badges appear to be Barney nipples, I was not a fan of Barney, and I think it's because my friend's niece had the tapes and just would back to 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 back watch it, and that song, oh my god, like, no. I started hating him at a young age, and I never stopped not hating him. Yeah. Your computer is gumball. Yeah, my dad actually had one of the lift chairs, not because he needed one. I think like a neighbor or something was getting rid of it. And he likes to act older than he is. He likes to tell everybody how he's had double hip replacement, but he's perfectly mobile. And the thing with those is they're very useful, especially if you actually need them. God, those things are heavy with that whole mechanism in it. And then eventually the thing broke. And he continued to use it for a while because thankfully it broke in the down position. But I was like, what if it had broken in the, standing you up position? You just wouldn't even be able to use it anymore. You live at X's house? I did not know that. Wait, which... Do you mean X Creations or X Chapters? I'm assuming X Creation, because I think I've seen you in his chat before, but I should... Or do you mean your ex-wife? Or ex... You said, wait. Yes. Did you say ex-wife? Now I'm getting confused. I'm going to doubt myself. I'm going to scroll up. Wait, ex-wife. Okay. You probably mean your ex-wife, not any of the people that I know that's names start with X, and that's where my head automatically went to. A huge crack in the screen. That's no good, Sunburned. Is it a laptop, Sunburned? You might be able to replace it fairly easily. Gosh, I guess that was almost a year ago. I replaced the screen in my Chromebook all by myself, and it was surprisingly easy. And pretty cheap too. I mean, compared to like buying a new Chromebook or a new actual laptop. Yeah, Amethyst. When I quit my office job, I've mentioned this before, I went on their Cobra for a while, which is basically you get to stay on the same healthcare, except instead of just paying the employee portion, you also pay the portion that the employer would normally pay. And so I was paying for what most people would consider overpriced healthcare for the 18 months that I was allowed on it. And once that expired, I'm getting by. I'm not in a bad position or anything, but I'm making little enough that I qualified for Medicaid. And so I went from paying for overpriced insurance to having free insurance. And it just seems so ridiculous to me. Like, where is the middle ground, and why is our healthcare so fucked up in this country? But that's all I'm going to say about that for now. Oh, 2 strokes. That's too bad. My friend was just telling me that her grandfather, I think it was her grandfather, had a stroke, and my mom's friend just had a stroke. That can be so debilitating. It's a surface. It's 3 years old, so not a huge deal, you hope, but the crack is almost invisible. Yeah, mine sunburn, I can't blame anything else. Usually I try to keep my laptop stashed somewhere where it's like out of the way, but sometimes it's on the floor. I thought it had been like upright. It fell down. I stepped on it. I didn't like fully step on it. I like stepped on it, and then as I realized I was stepping on it, I stepped off. But I opened it and it was cracked, and it had a little... It was like a faint crack in a little black area, and over the course of the next several months, the crack kept getting worse and the black area kept getting worse. So I eventually Googled about it a little bit and realized how fairly simple it was to replace it. Ordered the new screen off of Amazon, and took the old one out and replaced it. I felt so damn proud of myself that it only cost me like, I think $20 for a new screen or something like that to get the thing fixed. All right. We're getting toward the end here, but we have videos. We have videos after we finish the pictures. This is just like a night shot of the crowd, and this is the midway over here. This is like this big block of bars and shit over here, and like the night crowd at the fair. And oh, the smoothie. I got this. What do they call it? A paradise colada, because the strawberry stuff was so disappointing to me. And I gave away one of my coupons at this booth because there was a coupon in the booklet for $4 off, but only the jumbo size, which was like 32 ounces, which is like a huge thing. I was like, well, I'm about to leave. I don't need that much smoothie. I said, is anybody about to get the jumbo? You want this coupon? And gave away my coupon. And then I don't know this lady, but I asked her permission. Because I didn't get any other pictures, but there's always some people at the fair carrying stuffed animals that are way too large. And she had so many of them. It was hilarious. And that is the end of our pictures, boys and girls. But we are not done. We have video. Let's actually see here. How do I want to do this? I'm not sure. Do you guys? How many videos do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think they're all fairly short. So let's see here. We'll open this up here. We'll turn on the display capture. Okay. Your dad has weird side effects after a stroke. It affected his voice. He had double vision and severe headaches. Thick headband around his ears when it started bothering him. Yeah. So you mean the stuffed animals? A 7-foot iguana. That's so huge. Okay. So I'm just checking. So this, you guys remember the picture that I showed you guys? Actually, let me see if I can quickly go through here and find it. I'll bring it back up just for a second to remind you guys. Okay. No, it'll show it in this. It'll show at the end of this video. I remember now. Okay. I'm tempted to turn off the audio, but I think I'm gonna leave the audio on. Let me know, you guys, if it's ear blasting. I'm not sure how loud Media Player is gonna treat this. The picture I showed you of the swirl, you look through here and it's like a kaleidoscope of that. How freaking cool is that? You spin it around and it creates like kaleidoscope images. Oop, now we're moving right into the next one. They've had those before. They actually had 3 with different pots and stuff in them. They're so freaking cool. This is for the little ponies. You can also see and hear how freaking windy it got all of a sudden at this moment. I mean, look at everybody's hair. Look at the dust blowing and guy holding on to his hat. And look at the little tiny small horse with the little tiny small carriage or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. They're having some kind of little tiny small horse competition. So there's that. Here is the slide. Get to see people going down the slide. I mean, it's a slide. It is what I told you it was. Some people go up there with like a whole group of people and they'll race down. Some people go down like them, you know, holding their little small child. And yeah, it's a fun little thing. And the people up at the top, they'll put out your little, I don't think they're actually rugs anymore. This is just a crowd shot. This is from one of the corners of the food building, and you can kind of just see how people are moving around and how busy it is, especially at the intersections where it's like 2 different flows of traffic, well, 4 actually, all come together. But there weren't too many lines most places, even as crowded and as many people as there were. Here is a not quite dark shot of the Ferris wheel. And is it actually gonna, I think we get some color changing here. Ooh, we get a blink. Now it's going yellow and green and blue. The puppy pony. A normal day in Oklahoma. It was so windy. I had a sun visor on, and I was so glad I was facing the way that it wasn't catching the brim. And the second day that I went, it was also windy. I actually used bobby pins to like, I had my hair in a ponytail to like bobby pin the visor into my hair. I love this Ferris wheel, and it looks so cool, especially at night. A free A in his class if someone got him a dwarf pony. Oh my god. Alright, we're almost done with this of the Ferris wheel. And what is next? Glass blowing? Yeah. So it's a little bit hard to tell. He's about to bring it over here. He had it in a little mold. Now he's sticking it in. This is the actual term. It's called the glory hole. It's if I'm recalling my glass blowing knowledge, it's like 2,500 degrees in there. Heats the glass back up, and then he's gonna like twist it on the table here. I forget what the table's called, to like add a spiral into it, and you see how cool it is when it's just like all orange and glowing. And I mean, like, dangerous as hell. That's what makes me nervous. Like, how could I ever be a glass blower, because I would burn the hell out of myself. And then we're gonna skip ahead a little bit. He was doing most of the work, and there was also an assistant. Now we've got, come on here, video. It's got a little bit of air in there. They've been blowing air in there, and so it's a little bit bigger. And her over here, she's gonna blow in there while he continues to spin it around. And sometimes they'll just blow air in there and trap it, and the heat of the glass actually causes the air to expand. But sometimes they'll just like gently blow, like in teamwork mode, and get a little bigger. A few glass blowers on Twitch making small stuff. That would be really cool to watch. I'm always impressed with the different creative people that are on Twitch. Earlier today, I found a lady that was doing like a bunch of pottery. She had a pottery wheel and was oh, and here we go. I missed the really cool part where he got it really hot and then spun it out, but he spun it, and the centrifugal force was so hot, so strong, and the glass was so hot that it spun out into this platter shape now. And they're gonna take it off of the punty, which is like the extra thing that they stick on there. And I'm wondering, because I was watching and not paying attention to my camera, they're gonna catch it. They put the water on the little mark that they've made, and then they tap it, ching ching ching, and then it should break and do like a fracture right where the water goes. Pink, there it is. And then they put it into the annealing oven to slowly cool down. This next one might be loud. We get some fireworks, just a little bit of fireworks. I didn't get to see fireworks on Monday, but on Thursday, just as I was leaving, just as I was headed back to the buses, the fireworks went off, and I stopped to watch them and record them. When they blow in the pipe, all I can think is, don't breathe in. I know, right, Amethyst? Yes, playing in the mud. Yes. I think that is who I was watching, Wicked. And I did not actually, I very rarely, I couldn't tell you the last time I went somewhere to watch fireworks for 4th of July. There were some going off in the neighborhood that I saw, but this was like a treat to me, because I was like, oh, it's my fireworks for the year. I get to watch these like from one of my favorite places. And then after these fireworks, I think we have one more video, and it's of the Ferris wheel in full dark. It still doesn't quite do it justice. Just like, I mean, watching fireworks on camera is always like not as good as watching them in person. But the Ferris wheel is so big, it is always the last thing that I see when I leave. You can see it as you're leaving the fair, and usually I can see it like once I get on the bus and I'm waiting for the bus to pull off and take me back to my car. And I wish the colors like showed up as vibrantly as they were in person, but I think you get like a little bit of the vibe. And I mean, you can watch it for 20 minutes and it will not repeat a pattern. Oh, and now we're back to the flower kaleidoscope. So that was our video portion of the events. Yeah, that's what the video was. You're sad when you miss them on the 4th. Yeah, I am too. It's like I can't. I'm too lazy and too antisocial to go anywhere. Sometimes we have a couple neighbors that really put on a pretty good show. I think I would be too scared to set them off myself, as well as too cheap, because fireworks are freaking expensive. But I really do enjoy seeing them. So, yeah, you guys, I'm so glad that you all came to hang out and look at pictures and talk food and live the state fair vicariously through my pictures of my 2 trips. I was like, well, maybe this stream will be half an hour, maybe an hour, 2 at the top end, and here we are 3.5 hours later. Just because, I mean, chatting and fun and explanations and story time and sidetracks and all that good stuff. But I had fun. I hope you guys did. Well, you hung around, so you guys must have had fun. I always say that, like, gosh, I don't know if you had fun, but hopefully if you weren't having fun, you moved along, you know? And since you stuck around, I'm just going to assume you all had a wonderful, wonderful time. Let's see where I can send you lovely people, or who I can host this evening. Not used to streaming on a Monday night. Let's see what types of things are going on. Oh, Dr. Oh, it is. Okay. Obviously, where we're going now. I was torn for a minute there, but this is where I'm going to be headed. And I am too, Amethyst. I hope we have some times in the future that also work out for you. And yeah, I'm always, I feel like whenever I end the stream, I'm in such a good mood, and I'm so pleasantly surprised by everybody that hung out and all that. Yes, Moon Bandit. You wasn't able to make it to the fair this year. You really appreciate it. You're welcome, Sparkly. My voice relaxes you. Oh, thank you so much, Wicked. I'm tickled pink, literally, you guys. I was nervous about this. I think I was maybe even a little more nervous than I realized, because this is not Nails. This is not Hollow Knight. This is not anything that I'd done before. And it went awesome. Definitely something I'd do again, either next year's fair, or we'll see what other photo slideshow opportunities we have before then. But I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm just going to host. No, let's raid. Oh, we should Moon Bandit, what's the raid message? Moon Bandit, help me. I'm remembering to make a raid message, but I don't know what to make it. I always forget a raid message. Super relaxing. Thank you, Sparkly. Relaxing to me is a high compliment, because a lot of times that's what I want to see on Twitch. Moon Bandit, give me a raid message. Oh my god, I don't know. That's it, you guys. Please participate in the raid if you are so inclined. Dr. Crotron was here earlier. He's a really cool dude. He's running my favorite game, Hollow Knight. He actually is a doctor. And cheesy bacon taker tots. And yeah, thank you all again for watching. I hope to see you next time. Maybe this week, otherwise next Saturday and Sunday. Bye-bye.
Don't jump. Good boy. Uh-oh. I will move for just one moment. Kind of about to die. I don't want to die. So. Oh dear. Okay. Is it Wick Wonder or Like Wonder? Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Ooh, thanks. Oh my god, I don't know. I don't know either. What's going on? Let me kill this guy first.
Oh, stopping stream would help.